This is the Buzz Adams Morning Show podcast. Barstool Talk Daily. Except it's really early in the morning and no booze. For the most part.
Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station.
Seesaw swinging with the boys in the office, kicking back in the office chair, saying, hey, diddle, diddle, I couldn't give a piddle if my boss yells at me over there. So we take a big chance and take a little glance to see if boss ran away. We don't feel we'll survive if we stay until 5, so we need to make a quick escape. We're ready to walk Friday, talk Friday, be early Friday, go walk Friday. Just give me a beer.
Wake up, El Paso.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special bulletin.
Wake up, fat boy.
Wake up! It's aerobic time! Come on, do the trip. Put a little boogie in it. Shut up!
You're out of order.
What's the matter with everybody? Everybody's so grumpy every morning around here.
Your morning starts now.
Are you serious?
Let's get this show on the road.
So let's dance.
This is the morning show on 95.5 KLAQ.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, thank you so much. And good morning. Welcome, everybody, to the show for this Friday morning. It is Friday, and we're just about to get the weekend underway. Thanks for joining us. Woo! And Joanna, today it will be just the two of us. Joanna and I will be doing the show, so that means Joanna's also going to do news headlines today.
Like I was in there trying to hype you up.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't hurt. I'll tell you that.
Did it work?
Yeah, I think so. Why did I seem a little down?
Yeah, a little bit.
Really? Mm-hmm. Maybe tired. I mean, I'm in a good mood.
Oh,
it's
good.
Friday. Yeah, no, I'm in a good mood.
Nice.
So okay. Tell me if this is I'm really proud of this, but this is a goal for my 17-year-old daughter.
Okay.
She's trying to see every movie that Family Guy ever parodied.
Okay. That's a pretty lengthy list, I think.
Right. Except for the Star, Family Guy did a lot of entire Star Wars themed episodes.
They did, yeah.
She won't watch Star Wars.
She won't watch Star Wars?
No.
How does that make you feel?
Well, she's doing it just to
she
get
has
to
to
me.
rebel in some way.
If
all right?
that's the way my kid is going to rebel, fine. I'd rather do that than any other number of things I could think of. Star Wars, no way. It's like Family Guy did parodies of Star Wars all the time.
She's like, well, I'm going to skip
Right.
those. Yeah.
So we watched Forrest Gump yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that movie has held up as well as I might have thought it would. I mean, he's really doing the simple Jack from Tropic Thunder, remember?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not as smart, man. Good morning and welcome to the show, everybody, for this Friday. We got a dining deal coming up starting at 10 o'clock today. KLAQ and SeizeTheDeal.com present dining deals most Fridays. And we are this today, starting at 10 a.m. You'll be able to get $50 in food for just $25 while they last. And our restaurant is Le French Touch. That is at the food court at the shops of Solana. Try their gourmet goodness with specialty piping hot pizza, savory crepes, or a fresh and vibrant Greek salad. Le French Touch has dine-in, takeout, and catering. Visit them today at the food court at the shops at Solana, formerly Sunland Park Mall. Le French Touch.
Le French Touch.
Well, fast meets fabulous, huh? So at 10 o'clock, we have 100 of these that we're going to sell $50 value for only $25. And you can get 2 per customer, but only until they're gone. So check it out, KLAQ.com. We got a Dining Deals button on the must-read bar and Dining Deals on the KLAQ mobile app as well. 10 a.m. this morning, the Dining Deal for Le French Touch is going to go live. Let's get a look at El Paso weather. This is the Golfers Forecast brought to you by Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. You can set up all your tee times and reservations online at painteddunes.com. No rain in the forecast for the weekend anyway. We might have some next week, but not until Monday. A lot of sunshine and upper 90s, might even nudge 100 over the weekend. But, 98, 99, 100, that's the neighborhood of the temperatures we're going to be seeing. A lot of sunshine in the forecast, and winds 10, 15 miles an hour. I'm actually going to call this a pretty good, it's not 109.
Yeah,
and
right.
We're not going to have 30-mile-an-hour winds. I'm going to give this a solid A. Verging on an A-plus grade for the Golfers Forecast this weekend. So, a lot of sunshine. It's going to be around 100. Not going to be too windy. Get out there and do something active if you feel like it. If not, you could just veg at home. And El Paso weather, the Golfers Forecast brought to you by Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. Set up tee times at painteddunes.com or call the Pro Shop. Their number is 915-821-2122 for Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. So I didn't watch it as much as I said I was really interested in what was going to happen. I ended up, just getting busy and doing stuff. But President Biden did a solo press conference, the first time in almost a year that he's done one of these. And they said he did pretty good other than the very first question. Oof. He was trying to, did you see?
No, I did not.
Oh, you're just like wincing, waiting to hear?
Bracing myself. Go on.
He was talking about, the question was about Vice President Kamala Harris, whether he believes she's qualified for the job as president. He talks about that, but instead of Kamala Harris, he calls her Vice President Donald Trump. And that was like the very first question. But then he kind of held it together for the rest of the thing. So I heard some people saying, oh, well, he's totally proven that debate performance, which was panned, was a one-off. But I don't know. I mean, I guess anybody could get names mixed up, but this whole thing was to be out there and prove that he still got it together. And, and right off the bat, he mixes up Donald Trump with Kamala Harris. I'm not saying that I wouldn't make a similar mistake, but I don't think I should be president either.
Right.
So that was kind of the outcome of that. Also, AT&T just announced a big, what's it called when they, somebody hacks and they get your phone information?
Yes.
A huge one for AT&T customers. And they were saying it doesn't give them your name, but it did leak the information, what information it did leak for all of AT&T's customers. And they've known about it since April, but the Department of Justice told them not to make the announcement yet about the data breach. So that's a big thing going on. And an Amber Alert has been going off on my phone for like 4 hours. Listen, I don't know how many kids the Amber Alert has actually saved or if it's about as efficient as the milk cartons. I think they said the milk cartons in the 80s never actually found one kid.
Oh.
Here's the thing. They must send these out to people all over Texas and maybe multi-state. And if you get them, what are the chances you're going to bump in to the person they're looking for? Pretty slim, right?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. And even if you did, 19 out of 20 times, it's one of the parents that took the kid.
Yeah.
It's an abducted child, but it's either the father or the mother who took the kid. So, and there's no way to mute it, but I don't want to, I guess. That's just part of being a good citizen is you take it and look at the Amber Alert and then, all right, I'll be on the lookout for a Highlander headed east in Texas or whatever. Joanna's going to have the Hollywood Cheesemate coming up. About an hour. We're also going to have a true crime report today, but tell us what's coming up on the Hollywood news.
Well, happy Christmas in July to everyone who celebrates. And if you're really, really into Christmas in July, then you'll really be happy to hear about Hallmark's newest streaming service that will just stream Christmas movies.
In July or just all year?
All year
come on.
long. You can have Christmas any time of the year. And with that streaming service comes a new reality series that they are calling Finding Mr. Christmas, where they will find their next holiday movie star.
That's called auditions. I would say about the Hallmark Christmas movies, at least each one of them is a standalone movie. It's not like they have a stupid reality show that goes on and on for seasons, and then this happens.
And then this.
Yeah.
They were like, hey, you know what we don't have?
A reality show.
We should do that. I'll have more info in entertainment news.
A week from tomorrow, this will be Saturday, July 20th, we're going to have a watermelon party at Western Playland. It's the same price as normal to get into the park if you're going to attend. We have a ton of free tickets to give away, too, so you could win some free tickets. But it's the regular Western Playland price, and you get to ride all the rides as much as you want to. And if you love watermelon, and who doesn't, we're going to have a lot of watermelon games, prizes, contests, lots of watermelon to eat and drink. The KLAQ Watermelon Party is brought to you by the El Pasoans Fighting Hunger Food Bank, Baby Tree Surrogacy, New Start Home, Charlie Clark Nissan, and a fireworks show at the end of the night, courtesy of T2Go, Tea and Energy. So we're going to have a big fireworks show next Saturday as well. Everything you need to know about the first ever KLAQ Watermelon Party at Western Playland is available at KLAQ.com and also on the KLAQ mobile app. No Nico today. He said he has bronchitis. So Joanna and I are going to be handling the show, which means, Joanna, you got to do the news. Have you peeked at the news yet? Can you tell us anything that's going on?
I have peeked a little bit at the news. Remember yesterday we talked about George Clooney writing that op-ed about Biden stepping down.
Yeah, right. He threw a big Hollywood party like less than a month ago for Biden that raised tens of millions of dollars, and he wrote an op-ed that said Biden needs to step aside. Well,
now Donald Trump is slamming George Clooney over his op-ed and telling him to get out of politics and stick to TV because movies were never really his thing.
What?
Oh, yeah.
George Clooney's a major movie star.
Well, that's not according to Trump.
Also, this doesn't even involve, it's not like he was insulting Trump. If anything, it's a diss to Biden, right?
I have a little quote for you from Trump that says, so now fake movie actor George Clooney, who never came close to making a great movie, is getting into the end.
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou was a great movie. Good Night and Good Luck was a really, really good movie.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
I could probably... The Men Who Stare at Goats was okay.
I'll have more in you.
Okay. So we'll have that news coming up a little bit later for you today. We're going to get to Today in Sound Clips, and we'll hear some of the audio from last night. President Biden tried to chill people out about whether or not he's able to complete the job in 4 more years. He had a press conference last night, so we'll listen into some of that. And Today in Sound Clips on the way here in just a few minutes.
The Daily Calendar. It's July 12th, It's French Fry Day and Eat Your Jell-O Day. Out of Jell-O? It's Amazon Prime Day. You can order some. Maybe you've noticed it's National Motorcycle Day. And if you like kebabs, the world likes them too. It's World Kebab Day. Today is also to recognize the use of paper bags to get rid of plastics, keep them from filling up the ocean. And that's your Daily Calendar.
Chuck here, and I am ready to throw the horns up on Loudwire Nights.
It's the biggest sales Sunday, only at Casa Kia. See you at the finish line.
Oh, we're back. Buzz is back.
Hey, right on, Buzz.
Buzz in the Morning Show, 95.5 The Q.
We got Today in Sound Clips on the way. We'll hear some audio of President Biden's press conference last night, how that went. It wasn't completely smooth. And since it's Friday, we're also going to have the Weekend Starter 6-pack at 5 o'clock. Foo Fighters today. Coming up at 5 o'clock, we're going to play you 6 in a row from the Foo Fighters. Let you know the weekend has officially started by playing one of your favorite bands. The Weekend Starter 6-pack airs at 5 o'clock today. It's brought to you by Sunland Park Racetrack and Casino. Play the hottest slots and electronic table games at the place where there's always more fun in the sun. Sunland Park Racetrack and Casino. And it is time to get to Today in Sound Clips. So let's do that now.
And now, Today in Sound Clips.
Got a sticky button here or something, man. Let's start with the situation with a lot of fellow Texans who are without power following the hurricane, and now there's a heat wave, and they don't have electricity for AC and stuff. Over 1 million customers of CenterPoint Energy in the Houston area, so Harris County, are still without power as of yesterday. The company said that at least 350,000 would remain without power through the weekend. So they're not looking for any relief until Monday at the earliest. CenterPoint Energy's Daryl Carroll. Julia Gulia. Daryl Carroll said I would just encourage parents, say it out loud before you decide the name. Like, say it out loud and say it in a group of people. Hey, what do you think of this name? Daryl. Okay, I guess that's a good name. What's your last name? Carroll. Daryl Carroll? Daryl Carroll from the electric company understands the problems created for people who live in Texas in July without electricity. I guess it's... If you had to pick when to lose the electricity, I guess you'd rather have the power out when it's hot than when it's cold, because a lot of people died a couple years ago.
That is true.
Talking to NBC News, CenterPoint Energy's Daryl Carroll was asked what he would tell the roughly 500,000 people who are expected to still be without power throughout the weekend in the Houston area.
First thing we do is just let them know that we understand. We acknowledge, what it must be like to live in Texas in July and not have electricity.
However, Carroll pointed out it's the first time in the company's history that 1 million customers have had their power restored so quickly.
I don't want to put a number on it, but what I'll say is that, this is the fastest we've ever restored 1 million customers.
That's kind of a dubious claim, right? Well, that means your power went down for at least 1 million customers, that you had to restore 1 million customers. Let's see. Costco's selling... Tell me if they're doing this at our Costco.
Okay.
Apocalypse dinner kits. So like for survivors and preppers. It's just like food that has a shelf life of 25 years and stuff.
I think I've seen, I don't know if they've called it Apocalypse food kit, but I've definitely seen like emergency survival or like an emergency kit.
Is it huge?
I can't remember. I know it's a box, I think.
You weren't interested in buying it?
Yeah, I wasn't interested in it, but I was like, oh, wow, that's nifty.
So our Costco does have these.
I think so.
Apparently Costco's have been selling these for a while.
I just didn't know that they were named Apocalypse Kit.
Well, in the story I'm reading, they've got it in quotation marks, so maybe that's unofficially what it's called.
No, I've definitely seen like an emergency kit.
Okay, so the one that they're selling at Costco, you get a bucket of a bucket.
Yes, it's a bucket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You get a bucket of emergency food with 132 servings and a 25-year shelf life.
I've seen it.
Here's a guy's video that went viral on Instagram talking about it.
So I'm in Costco. I've never seen anything like this before. They have emergency food supply. I guess this is for when the apocalypse hits. You get teriyaki rice, pasta alfredo, cheesy macaroni, apple cinnamon cereal, tomato soup with pasta, creamy pasta and vegetables, brown sugar and maple multigrain cereal, barbecue beans, vanilla pudding, orange drink mix, whey milk alternative, Southwest rice and beans, and chicken flavored noodle soup. Up to 25-year shelf life, 132 servings, $63.
Wow.
$63 for all that?
$63, not bad.
I guess you don't have to be like a doomsday prepper
No,
to get that.
Yeah, it definitely just said like emergency preparedness kit.
You know, I bought an old, just because I thought the box looked so cool, because it said live hand grenades. It's a box that they use for hand grenades from the Army.
Okay.
And it was loaded with MREs. You know what those are?
The ready.
Yeah, meals ready to eat.
Uh-huh.
And I got this thing like 20 years ago at a consignment sale or someplace. And it was probably already 40 years old at that time.
And what was the shelf life then?
I don't know. I've never opened one up. I guess I'm waiting for a big enough emergency.
It sounds like we should probably look through that.
Should I bring one in and we'll open it up?
You should.
How about the
We'll have
emergency
Nico eat it.
canned water that you had to open with a can opener? Did you ever check that out when I opened one of those? And it was 65. It was like from the Korean War era.
And how was the water?
It smelled bad.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
A Reddit user claims that Burger King is using dynamic pricing and surge pricing, at least at one of its restaurants. She says it changed her price from $33.89 to $34.18 for no reason other than the price just went up.
Burger King?
Yeah, Burger King. The TikToker, we're going to hear from now.
So apparently fast food companies are trying out that surge pricing model after all. This picture was uploaded to the mildly infuriating subreddit. Apparently when they went to check out with their meal, Burger King raised the price from $33.89 to $34.18 as they were checking out. Nothing new was added. They didn't ask for an additional sauce. It just said, hey, some of the prices of the items in your cart have changed. You see, I'm old enough to remember back in the day when you would go to a place like McDonald's and they'd say, hey, for 39 cents extra, do you want to supersize your meal? And now we're being told, hey, for 29 cents extra, do you want to, keep the meal that you originally agreed to pay for?
Yeah.
The first press conference of the year for President Joe Biden didn't do as much as those in his circle hoped for to stop the rising tide of calls for him to withdraw from the presidential race because of his age. While his foreign policy discussions were praised, there were several mistakes made by the president at various points in the evening, including mistakenly calling Kamala Harris Vice President Donald Trump when answering a question. Also, when introducing Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, Biden made a mistake, but caught himself, I guess, relatively quickly.
Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. He's going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky.
Everybody clapped.
Everybody. Come on, somebody hold up a sign. Nah,
Or
you
no.
said the wrong name. Biden referred to his own vice president as Vice President Trump.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there.
See, that's hard to put a positive spin on because that was maybe the first question. And the question was, are you confident that your Vice President Kamala Harris could step into the job if the need should arise? And that's how he answered. So just real quick, a recap. Some of the other world leaders like Macron of France and some of the others that he met with said that he talked about these complicated foreign policy issues and was very knowledgeable about them and really seemed on the ball. But, this.
That's what the compact says, loudly and clearly. And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. He's going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin, we got to worry about it.
Let's just
Anyway,
stop talking.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president.
Okay. More calls coming for Biden to drop out. Representative Jim Hines of Connecticut, Representative Scott Peters of California, Representative Eric Sorensen of Illinois, all Democrats, have come forward saying that they think it would be the best interest of the party and the country for President Biden to step aside and let someone else run for president. 4 Democratic sources told CBS News yesterday they expected dozens more Democratic lawmakers to issue statements today and over the weekend calling on Biden to drop out. During the press conference, Biden responded to the questions about the mistakes that he had already made in the press conference, and he answered with a 3-word answer.
Earlier, you misspoke in your opening answer and you referred to Vice President Harris as Vice President Trump. Right now, Donald Trump is using that to mock your age and your memory. How do you combat that criticism from tonight?
Listen to him.
Okay.
Are you feeling more assured by what you're hearing here today?
I'm not feeling very assured at all.
Biden said the best way to assure those who are calling for him to drop out is the same way that he reassures himself.
The best way to assure them is the way I assure myself. And that is, am I getting the job done?
Okay. Biden said that he will not drop out unless he was told that there was absolutely no way he could win.
No, unless they came back and said, there's no way you can win. Me. No one's saying that. Okay. No poll says that.
Why were you whispering?
That was weird.
It's weird, right? What's going on? The story of 2 radio interviews done by President Biden last week continues to evolve as well. Yesterday, Wisconsin radio network Civic Media said in a statement that it edited out 2 parts of the interview with Biden at the campaign's request. I guess there was some part of the interview that they thought reflected poorly, so they asked the radio network to edit the mistakes out. Afterwards, after Biden's press conference, David Axelrod was on CNN, says things don't look good for President Biden.
He is in a very, very tough spot. I don't know anyone in politics who would tell you, who looks at the numbers that we see, would tell you that he has a very good chance to win this race.
All right. We've got a couple of sports notes here. Yesterday, something happened in baseball that had not happened in 100 years. A pitcher threw what is referred to as an immaculate inning.
Immaculate
An immaculate inning. He threw 9 pitches, 9 strikes, 3 outs. That had not been done since 1923.
Wow.
Back in 23, the pitcher was Sloppy Thurston. God, we got to bring back, like, crazy old-time baseball nicknames. Sloppy Thurston on the mound. White Sox pitcher Michael Kopech made baseball history yesterday when he threw, and not just a perfect inning, an immaculate inning.
0-2 from Kopech. Yes, he did. It's an immaculate inning for Michael Kopech. And the Sox take game 1 of the doubleheader.
I'll be honest with you, I'd never heard of an immaculate inning.
Oh, okay, good.
Before this news story. So.
Me either.
A blind woman has received an apology from Uber after one of their Uber drivers dropped her off at the wrong location. You can imagine how that would be a tight spot for anybody with vision. Imagine what it would be like if you're also blind.
Oh, God.
The woman, Camille Richardson, is talking about the incident and giving suggestions to Uber on how to better serve passengers with disabilities, yes, including blindness.
I say, this is not the right place. And he says, well, I have somebody I got to pick up at the airport. And he takes off and runs away. I would talk to them about how to communicate with someone with a disability. How do you navigate with them? Listening to them about what assistance they need, really hearing their voices.
Well, number one, go to the address they tell you to go to.
And don't just brush it off with, I got to pick
somebody else up. Last night was the ESPY Awards. Serena Williams, I don't know if she was the host, but they got a few of her jokes.
She was the host.
All right, here you go. This is Serena joking about LeBron James Jr.
Another memorable moment in sports this year was LeBron James' son, Bronny. He got drafted to the Lakers where he will play with his dad. And I truly hope Bronny has a long career, so long that we will see his hairline recede, then miraculously unrecede like that.
LeBron's hair, he
I was
had a
gonna
real
ask.
receding hairline.
Really?
And then, he had, something was done because somehow the receding hairline proceeded. Prince Harry accepts the Pat Tillman Award. Pat Tillman was a football player for the Arizona Cardinals who joined the Army or the Marine. He joined the military after 9/11 and was killed by friendly fire. Pat Tillman's family, many of the family members say they are not happy that Prince Harry received the award in their son's name. But here's Prince Harry accepting the Pat Tillman Award.
The truth is, I stand here not as Prince Harry Pat Tillman Award recipient, but rather a voice on behalf of the Invictus Games Foundation and the thousands of veterans and service personnel from over 20 nations who have made the Invictus Games a reality. This award belongs to them, not to me.
I just don't know enough about why Prince Harry got the Pat Tillman Award or why the family's not happy about him getting the award. Well, Prince Harry served in the military, right?
Yeah.
Not our military, but the British military, and has done a lot of work with veterans, combat veterans, and that sort of thing. Anytime an extremely old person has a birthday and they give the secret to their long life, we like to cover that as a news story, right, Joanna?
Yeah, we do.
A woman in Alabama, 108 years old.
108.
Helen Denmark turned 108 on Sunday. Here she is talking about how she feels, and then a news anchor explaining Helen's advice on how she stays young.
Well, I feel all right. I'll be here when I'm 110.
Helen says she stays young by drinking wine, eating dessert, and flirting with men with mustaches.
Good for you.
Yeah, a 108-year-old woman probably remembers some epic mustaches back from the grand mustache days of American history. People used to have some epic... It didn't just start with hipsters. People used to have some epic mustaches back in those days. And an unruly passenger on a United Airlines flight got arrested after the passenger, a female, bit a chunk out of a flight attendant's shirt during a flight. Of course, other passengers had their phones out, so we got some footage of the passenger going nuts. Again, the woman who was eventually arrested bit a chunk out of a flight attendant's shirt during the flight.
She's wildin'. Nah.
Don't come to this airline. These people have an attitude problem. They don't do their job. They're handcuffing me. Why are you handcuffing me? Why?
You bit somebody's shirt, I guess. It doesn't say they bit their skin, but they bit the shirt. But definitely they went
like a goat at the shirt.
I guess so.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your pilot speaking. If you look to your right, you'll see some mountains. And if you look in the center aisle, you'll see a crazy lady eating a piece of our flight attendant's uniform. And that's just fine. Yes, we've run out of snacks on this flight, so flight attendants will be coming around letting you eat parts of their uniform. Our flight attendant, Jeffrey, will be coming around with a delicious pair of socks. Feel free to take a nibble of those. And our flight attendant, Sarah, is wearing a real pretty bow in her hair. Feel free to sink your teeth into that thing. In the event of an emergency, oxygen masks will fall from the ceiling. Feel free to eat those too. Who cares? Eat what you want. We know you have a choice which airline you fly, and we're glad you chose the one where you can just eat random stuff. Why not?
Good morning, Chuck Armstrong here, and I will be along tonight at 7 to get your weekend off to a rockin' start with Loudwire Nights. Then tomorrow at 5, it's 2 hours of ultimate metallic.
Finance, Sun Park Dodge. APR is $14.27 per thousand finance with approved credit. Includes factory rebate and dealer discount plus TTNL on select vehicles. Offers not combined.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Enderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
today's the big day for another dining deal. KLAQ and SeizeTheDeal.com present dining deals almost every week. And special deal for you, listeners of KLAQ. You get a $50 food certificate for just $25. It's a different restaurant every week. And this week, it's a new place, Le French Touch. That is at the Shops of Solana, formerly Sunland Park Mall. Try their specialty piping hot pizza, savory crepes, or a fresh and vibrant Greek salad. La French Touch has dine-in, takeout, and catering. Visit them today at the food court at the Shops at Solana and take advantage of the dining deal when it goes live this morning at 10 a.m. You can do that by go to KLAQ.com, click on Dining Deals, or Dining Deals is a button that we have on the KLAQ mobile app. So either the website or the mobile app, you get in as long as they last. We have 100 of them, and when they're gone, they're gone. So that dining deal begins at exactly 10 a.m. this morning.
All right.
I got a few calls from people who, these calls actually came in before we went on the air today. So it's people who were calling in last night after watching Biden's press conference. Mixed reviews here, I would say, for the most part. There were some times when Biden seemed to really know his stuff about some of this pretty complicated and tricky foreign policy stuff. And then there were just flubs. By the way, I do want to acknowledge Joe Biden has never been the most eloquent speaker. I mean, he's done it a long time, but he's always had a propensity for putting his foot in his mouth. And now it's like mixing up names. So there were a couple of name mix-ups.
Right.
But this was the press conference that was supposed to reassure people that President Biden still has it all together.
Hey, what's up, Buzz? It's 5 Points Guy. Hey, dude, I'm watching Biden give a speech live right now. A completely different Biden than what we saw at the debate. Here's what I think, right? Obviously, I've always known rich people love their pharmaceuticals. Doctors love prescribing pharmaceuticals to rich people. It's just, anyways, I mean, trust me when I say this, but I'm pretty sure when Biden had his debate with Donald Trump, he took something to go to bed at night to relax his nerves. Whatever he took, it probably affected him the next day, and that's why he was all lethargic and out of it. Or it could just be because he's old age, and some people of that age have good days, they have bad days, right?
I'm half his age and I have good days and bad days. I mean, I'm not literally half his age, but he's got like 30 years on me, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I couldn't, being president is the last job in the world I'd ever want to have.
It sounds terrible, right?
Some days I like to sleep in. There are some weekends where I like to do absolutely nothing. You can't do that if you're the president.
That's true.
I mean, unless you're Trump, you go golf like 6 days out of 7.
That's how my grandma was. Secondly, watching the live debate, almost at a minute now, I could tell Biden's eyes are bloodshot and they're glossed over. They are super glossed over. That usually tells me, the two drugs that make your eyes gloss, well, 3 actually, will be Xanax, amphetamines, and cocaine. I don't think he's on Xanax or cocaine, but I'm pretty sure they pumped him up with a little bit of amphetamine to give his mind that little boost. Anyways, have a good one, you guys. But yeah, look at Biden's eyes. They're super glossed over and kind of red. So he's on something for sure, dude. He is. Have a good one, guys.
Okay. Well, listen, 5 Points Guy. It's not Dr. 5 Points Guy, by the way. We've got a bunch of different opinions here coming in about Biden's performance.
What's up, Mo Show? It's ODG.
Here we go.
Nico, I know you're with the blue MAGA crowd, always defending Biden, but Biden is done, man. Calling Zelensky President Putin, calling Trump his VP. Biden is done, dude. If I was a Democrat, I'd get Bernie Sanders in there or Jon Stewart from The Daily Show. Hell, run Ron DeSantis as a Democrat. Blue MAGA is just as much as a cult as red MAGA. They both defend their guy no matter what, no matter how bad they are. Vote Libertarian. vote libertarian. The Democrats and Republicans are both fascists. You know what libertarians value most? Liberty, freedom. Okie dokie.
I'm sure that Republicans and Democrats alike would tell you that they value freedom and liberty, ODG.
How's it going, guys? Padilla here. I know y'all probably won't play this call because y'all hate it when people bash on Biden, but...
Oh, my God.
We should keep track of all the calls that begin with, I know you won't play this call.
Right.
Because... And then
we play
whatever
it.
the reason is. Right. We don't find that out till we're already playing it.
I know y'all probably won't play this call because y'all hate it when people bash on Biden, but did y'all hear his speech today, Thursday? He said President of Ukraine was Putin with Zelensky standing right next to him. So, yeah. I don't know what state of mind he's in or what, but, yeah. According to Biden, President of Ukraine is Putin. So, yeah.
I'll tell you the state of mind he's in. Elderly. He's in an elderly state of mind. And there's a very good reason for it. Because he's elderly. Now, there are some people even older than Biden. I saw William Shatner being interviewed by Bill Maher earlier this year. That dude's 90. And he never stammers or stutters or has to...
90.
Oh, my God. Just the way he's engaged with things. People show their age differently.
Yeah.
You know? Somebody might really have their wits about them at 90, and some people start losing it at 60. Here's the gaffes that people are talking about. A couple here.
That's what the compact says, loudly and clearly. And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. He's going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin, we got to worry about it.
Well, yeah, you could hear the applause like, wait a minute. He totally called him the wrong name. Do we still clap or what? And the other time he was asked about his vice president, who he knows is Kamala Harris.
Anyway, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president.
You know, Biden doesn't think Donald Trump is his vice. Now, that would be a problem if he actually thinks that Donald Trump is his vice president. It's just he got the got names mixed up.
Names mixed up.
Here's another call. This is kind of like the counter argument, I guess.
Really? I mean, everybody's going to be focusing on the little things he just says. I mean, 1, 2, 3 words, like, please. I mean, come on. Like he said, let him, listen to Trump speak. You want a lunatic like Trump talking about like sharks and batteries and Hannibal Lecter and just talking out of, and toilet flushing, really? He doesn't talk about how he's going to help America. So, yeah, I mean, don't focus too much on Biden. Yeah, he's like I say, he's already old, but you gotta. I bet you too. You make a lot. Everybody here makes a lot more mistakes than you think. So stop focusing too much on that.
Yeah, but the thing is, he doesn't do many press conferences. This is the first one he had done solo in 8 months.
Right.
He does and it makes you wonder, well, why? If he was really knocking it out of the park, they'd probably have him out there doing more press conferences, but they don't. So when you call a press conference, the whole point is to prove your mental acuity. Yeah, people are going to focus in on the mistakes. And there were a couple big ones. Here's another call. I don't know if all of our listeners are this engaged with the political process or if we're just hearing from the political junkies today.
Hey, good morning, guys. This is Mark over here from the West Side. Joe Biden should have dropped out like 60 years ago, should have been out there with Carter building Habitat for Humanity. At this point, at this age, with that mind, he's not a bad guy, he's a great guy, it's just, time's up. But what's also crazy is all these calls for him to drop out, for him fumbling words and, not getting his thoughts together. But Donald Trump, nobody's calling for him to drop out. Like, after all he's done, right? He says all sorts of racist things. He says all sorts of anti-democratic things, always bashing on America, bashing on Americans, bashing on military personnel. And no, yeah, that's fine. He gets to run. Where are we as a society, man? All right, brothers. Take care, man. Later.
Well, I think there's something to be said. You could focus on the things that Biden fumbles with, or you could listen to the things that Trump says clearly. He is not a fan of NATO. He doesn't believe in supporting Ukraine over his buddy Putin in Russia. I mean, listen to the things that he does say. And, I'm not worried that Joe Biden, even in a diminished state, he's going to be 86 if he should win re-election. By the time he's done with his second term, he's going to be 86 years old. I don't think the situation is going to be any better at 86 than it is now at 82. But I imagine when his time in office is up, he'll leave willingly.
Yeah.
One way or the other, whether he loses the election, I'm sure that he will leave gracefully. Or if he does win re-election, he won't go for a 30. Right. He won't tell his followers to go and riot at the Capitol. That says a lot more to me about the quality of the two candidates than flubbing a name or two. All right, let's take a break. Thank you, everybody, for calling. I really encourage that everybody's so plugged into what's going on because this is a very important political year. I appreciate everybody's call. All right, we'll take a break, come back. We've got a true crime report on the way right after this.
This is Double G. Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show, El Paso's best rock.
No, your detailer in the bundle can help with that too.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a Town Square media station.
Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast.
Actual crime stories from around the world and across the nation. It is the True Crime Report.
Any of you involved in any illegal activity? Because I could sure go for some.
The first one is not a crime story, but I think it's worth saying just to remind people, how hot it is. One of the child actors from the sitcom Alf died of heat stroke, and it seems like the heat wave in Arizona is to blame.
Oh, no.
Benji Gregory, who played Brian Tanner on Alf, died last month under unusual but tragic circumstances. The former child actor who left showbiz and joined the Navy.
Oh, wow.
He had gone to a bank in Peoria, Arizona to deposit some residual checks. I guess if you're on a show in the 80s as a kid, you get those checks for the rest of your life, huh?
Yeah.
Police believe he fell asleep in his car and died of heat stroke.
Oh, my God. In Arizona.
A service dog he brought with him died too.
Oh, no.
Okay, I don't think you just fell asleep, right? I mean, at some point, your dog would start getting uncomfortable and wake up. There has to be more to it. Benji's sister says that he suffered from depression, bipolar disorder, and a sleep disorder that often kept him awake for days at a time. Okay, well, that, could explain some of it. It happened back on June 12th, before it had really gotten super hot. It says here that Benji Gregory from the TV show Alf left showbiz in 2003, joined the Navy, where he became an aerographer's mate. He got an honorable medical discharge in 2005. All right, got some audio with this one. A star college athlete got a DUI, and his head coach defended him, but in a way that makes it sound like he's admitting to driving drunk frequently.
Oh, okay.
Oklahoma State Cowboy head football coach Mike Gundy. I've known about Mike Gundy my whole life because even when he was in high school, he was like one of the he's from Oklahoma.
Oh,
he was one of
okay.
the most famous high school athletes at that time in the state, him and his brother. He was talking about star running back Ollie Gordon, who was arrested under suspicion of DUI back on June 30th.
Okay.
And he gave an honest take, but it sounds like it might have been a little too honest. So let's listen in to Oklahoma. And he's known for being unfiltered.
All right.
That's a word that's used as a descriptor for Mike Gundy a lot. Unfiltered.
So I looked it up on my phone. What would be the legal limit? Like in Oklahoma, it's 0.08. In Ollie was 0.1. And it was based on body weight. Not to get into the legal side of it, but I thought really 2 or 3 beers or 4. I'm not justifying what Ollie did. I'm telling you what decision I made. Well, I thought I've probably done that 1,000 times in my life. And it's just fine. So I got lucky. People get lucky.
Okay, so Mike Gundy just admitted that he probably had as much to drink as his player did and then got behind the wheel probably 1,000 times.
He's right. He did get lucky that nobody was hurt. Nothing bad happened in those probably 1,000 times that he's done it.
Here's the quote. Well, I thought I'd probably done that 1,000 times in my life. And it's just fine. So I think MAD would have a problem with that. Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. You're telling people as a mentor for young people who aren't even really drinking age that it's fine to have 3 or 4 beers.
He starts with, I'm not excusing what he did, but I probably have done it too.
Right. The only thing missing was him cracking the top on a Pabst Blue Ribbon right in the middle of the interview. On the question of whether the player was going to get punished, Gundy said, I'm not justifying what Ollie did. I'm going to think what's best for Oklahoma State football. If there's any punishment, it's making him carry the ball 50 times in the first game. So it sounds like Coach Mike Gundy is surprisingly okay with DUIs. I got a story about this is a standard dine and dasher, but you got to feel like this person was not very good at it because they made one of the cardinal mistakes if you're going to do a dine and dash. Leaving a photo ID behind.
Oh, what the hell?
A man and woman in Boston had dinner at a place in the Boston Chinatown last weekend and tried to dine and dash. The woman was 24-year-old Zaire Alexander. After she ate, she went to the bathroom. The guy walked out while she was in the bathroom.
Oh.
Then she started to walk out too. When employees tried to stop her, she pulled a gun, which was described in the police report as a pink Glock. A Glock is a type of gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
But pink?
I see them at like Cabela's. Yeah, they make them for women. She pointed the gun at an older employee who wrestled the gun away, but the woman was able to escape. Police were able to ID her because she left her Social Security card behind.
Oh my God, of all the things to leave behind, the Social Security card.
Sounds like maybe she dropped it during the scuffle over the gun. She turned herself in the next day. She faces charges for carrying a loaded firearm, carrying a firearm without a license, unlawful. Wow, they got a lot more gun laws in Massachusetts than we do in Texas, don't they?
Yeah.
Unlawful possession of ammunition, assault and battery on an elderly person, and fraud.
This Barbie with the pink Glock is going to jail.
A man was found passed out, drunk, according to police, at a water park next to the Lazy River ride. I guess this is a thing that we got a lazy river at Wet n Wild. That must be a pretty standard.
Cool.
Yeah, right. When you're tired of going down, like at breakneck speed, you just get an inner tube and float around a little lazy river for a while. Well, this guy was drunk and naked.
Alrighty.
And 74 years old.
All right, whose Theo was this?
John Caraballo was arrested last week. He's the 74-year-old man who was found lying naked at the Lazy River at an amusement park. It was 6 p.m., so it wasn't even dark, and there were plenty of kids around. According to police, the 74-year-old man was extremely intoxicated. Someone had called police because they saw the man lying around naked, So what are you going to do? Should we wake him up? No, we're going to call the police.
Hey, man.
Here is Captain Jason Smith talking about the arrest of the 74-year-old drunk naked man.
There was a male subject there who was completely naked. A number of people had seen this, including children, and that they had reported that to Canby staff, who then reported to the police. The individual was an older gentleman from Somerville. He was arrested for indecent exposure, and he was so intoxicated that later he was taken to the jail as a protective custody. We learned later that from the information we received is that he'd been drinking prior to even arriving at Canby. So he wasn't even drinking at Canby Lake Park, and this behavior is unacceptable.
He pre-gamed it.
Right. Yeah, he pre-gamed it. I'm not going to pay amusement park prices. I'm going to get drunk before I go. Once he sobered up, the man said he realizes he made a mistake. Here's the apology that he gave to the press. John Caraballo said, "It was extremely poor judgment. I'm extremely remorseful."
Aw. I get it, man. You go out there to like Wet n Wild or something in the sun, and you're just like drinking like water, man.
Well, he
like
wasn't
you drink
drinking
those
water.
White Claws like water.
Oh, like water, yeah. At least there's a lot of shade at Wet n Wild.
Yeah.
That's the best thing. They should change it to Shade and Wild, because I think the shade is as much a draw as the wet is.
Oh, for sure.
Here's another heat-related story. Second one in this true crime report. A North Carolina woman is accused of leaving 7 puppies in a hot car while she went to eat.
That monster.
She is a puppy breeder. That is kind of looked down on now,
That's
right?
already like
people who
double
breed
monster.
dogs.
Right.
Right? Don't people kind of look
Yeah,
down on that?
kind of like puppy mills.
And I'm saying this as a person who once bought 2 puppies from a guy in the parking lot at Target. One of the puppies didn't recover. So here are comments from, this was in North Carolina, Apex Police Chief Jason Armstrong. And then we're going to hear the woman accused of leaving the puppies in the car defend herself.
The puppies had been left inside the vehicle from anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. But in addition to being inside the kiddie pool, there was a cover that had been put on top of the pool. 3...
wait a minute. Is he saying the puppies were put in a kid-sized pool? Maybe one of those little plastic ones that looks like a turtle.
Okay. Yeah.
And then there was a cover on top of that?
Oh, my God. Monster.
Of the puppies appeared to be in distress and had some respiratory challenges and were put in an oxygen chamber. One of the puppies did not respond to the treatment.
I am not an animal abuser. I have no malicious intent to harm any animal. I have 12 dogs. I take very good care of my animals.
Well, you left those puppies in the car,
Why did you leave the puppies there then?
A man who broke into a pet store was later found passed out with 4 hamsters in his pants.
Oh, my.
An Ohio man named, and I swear to you I'm not making this up, Matthew Pancake.
Pancake.
Was arrested after a series of break-ins early Tuesday morning. He broke into a famous footwear shoe store. He broke into a restaurant called Roosters.
Okay.
He was seen on camera wearing leopard print pajamas.
Okay.
And that's the worst crime so far. Then he broke into a pet store called Petland.
Okay.
Police believe he intentionally set a bunch of the animals free.
He's like, you're free.
At Eventually, police tracked Pancake. I've never heard anybody with the last name Pancake, huh?
Me either.
It's about as realistic sounding as Patty Mayonnaise. Do you get that reference?
Yes.
Are you surprised that I know that?
I am surprised.
Police tracked him down, and he was in the parking lot of Big Lots when they arrested him. When they arrested him, they discovered he had 4 hamsters in his pants.
Oh, my. Is it a hamster in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? It's a hamster.
He's charged with breaking and entering vandalism. As for the animals from the pet store, police recovered 2 dogs, multiple birds, another hamster. I consider that the lucky hamster, by the way, and at least 2 bunnies.
Oh, man.
Authorities say they didn't get all the animals. They're still looking for more bunnies, birds, and 1 ferret.
Have they looked in his shirt?
Have you looked in his butt? Well, after the Hawk Tuah girl went viral, I expect the idiots in the next story to be millionaires within a week.
All right.
A couple named Joe Boyette and Mary Sweat, yes, Sweat, are facing charges for a stunt they pulled at a family restaurant. This happened in Waycross, Georgia, about 50 miles north of the Florida line. The couple, Joe and Mary, filmed themselves at a place called Rodeo Mexican Restaurant. And what they did was Joe used a funnel to drink a margarita out of Mary's, look, this is the nicest way I know how to say it, out of her butt crack. Yes, Mary Sweat's sweaty butt crack. If you're having trouble picturing it,
Yes,
here
I
is
am.
a security image.
What the hell?
Where'd he get the funnel?
Right? Did you just go prepared with a funnel? They planned it beforehand. Hey, I'm going to drink it.
I wouldn't be
Get
surprised.
the funnel.
I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't
Get
like,
the
look,
funnel.
we're going to do this and then we're going to put it on TikTok. The story gets weirder.
Oh, okay.
The funnel didn't work very well and really got the drink down in there. So I guess it didn't work. So he just poured the drink down her backside. The incident apparently happened 3 months ago, but police just found out about it after Mary, the butt crack lady, ratted on herself. Do you want to hear how that transpired?
Yes.
Well, she was upset when she found that somebody had leaked the video online and called police to arrest the person who leaked the video. But instead, police came and she and Joe, her boyfriend, were arrested for public indecency. The restaurant put out a statement calling the stunt unacceptable and not reflective of the, quote, family-friendly dining experience they strive for. They also said any employees who may have been involved will face, quote, appropriate action. According to reports, someone who works there provided the funnel. Okay.
Oh,
Well, so we
okay.
at least we get that
So
question.
they told someone.
Hey,
maybe
we
they're
want
just
to do
like, hey,
we want to do a butt crack shot, but we need a funnel.
And the waitress is like, I got a funnel.
Next story is about a giant crime ring that was busted in Oregon. It was it involved Lego theft to the tune of about $200,000 in Legos.
Oh, my.
All right, you ready for the details about this?
Yes, please.
Look, they've got it on display. You know, like how they put
God.
if they make a drug bust, they put all the drugs on a table so you can see it. Look at all look at all those Legos. It's just like an ocean of Legos, almost. A massive Lego theft ring was busted by Oregon police. They took drone footage of the mountains, and I can vouch for this. It was mountains of Legos packed neatly in boxes. More than 4,150 sets of Legos valued at roughly $200,000, were seized from the brick builder's shop in Eugene, Oregon. So it is a Lego shop.
Oh.
Amon Henriksen, owner of the Lego brick builder shop, is accused of knowingly buying the unopened sets from crooks who had stolen them from nearby chain stores such as Target and Walmart, according to police. Among the stolen items could be seen high-quality branded sets for kits such as things as the souped-up DeLorean from Back to the Future, the custom ambulance from Ghostbusters, which cost $230 itself, and the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. During the 3-month investigation, cops saw thieves rob stores of their Lego sets and then head right to brick builders. So it sounds like the owner of the store is also going to be held responsible in that. And that is definitely up in felony territory, too. Just because of the amount of the theft. $200,000.
Coming up on Law & Order SLU, Special Lego Unit. Shocking stories of stolen Legos.
All right, dirtbag. I know it was you who stole those Legos.
No way, Copper. I paid for those Legos fair and square.
Oh, really? You paid for that Super Mario Bowser's Castle Lego set? That thing's like $300. Paid for it with what money?
With my allowance. What's it to ya?
Your allowance isn't that much, liar. Admit you stole them.
I will admit nothing.
It's all coming up on Law & Order Special Lego Unit.
All right, well, my partner's going to come in here, and he's nowhere near as nice as... Oh, I just stepped on one of your Legos. Come on, man.
Don't miss it.
While you're working away, we're working for you. Our job.
An Edge high mile rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence dyne test under high load conditions versus API SP test limits.
El Paso's own live and local. The Buzz Adams Morning Show. 95.5 KLAQ.
Okay, let's hit it.
All right, Joanna is going to have our Hollywood Cheesemay, our entertainment report, coming up here in just a few moments. I'm told we have a live call this morning, so let's talk to line 3 is Primo. Hi, Primo.
Hey, Buzz. How you doing, guys? Hi, Joanna.
Hi, Primo.
How you doing?
Doing great. What's up with you?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I'm doing awesome. I just wanted to call in and give a big shout out and a big thanks to Glenn Garza and everyone there at KLAQ. He did an amazing article on our new restaurant. I don't know if I told you about this a couple while back, but we took over the Shelby Shack Diner, which is located inside the Casa Ford Service Center here on Montana and Magruder. And we celebrated our 1-year anniversary this past July 3rd, and Glenn came over earlier this week and had some delicious breakfast with us. And he was able to take a couple of pictures, and he did an amazing article on the Shelby Shack Diner, and he posted on the KLAQ website. So I just wanted to call in and thank you guys for that awesome article. And hopefully I can invite everyone out here. It's here at Casa Ford Lincoln Mercury on Montana and Magruder.
It's in the car dealership? Where is it? Like in the... Like in the shop or where?
Yeah, it's actually inside the shop. So while you're having breakfast or lunch, you can actually see the mechanics working on the vehicles. So it's like right in the middle of the service center.
And it doesn't smell like axle grease or anything in the restaurant?
It does not. No, it does not. No, it does not. It's actually its own little hidden gem. It's an actual restaurant, so it's not like out in the open, like you're in the middle of the grease and stuff like that. It's an actual restaurant.
I can't believe I've never seen that, because I've gotten a car from that dealership before. Which one did you say it was?
I'm sorry?
Which dealership is it?
It's Casa Ford. Casa Ford, right behind Bassett Center.
A really good friend of mine used to be the GM of Casa Ford, yeah. But I didn't know about a restaurant inside on the premises. What's it called?
It's actually been here since the 1980s.
Yeah.
And it was named the Shelby Shack Diner circa 2000, 2001. And we just took over, myself and my family my beautiful chef, Teresa. We just took over as of July 3rd of 2023. So we just celebrated our 1 year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Wow. Yeah, thank you guys. And it's a little hidden gem. We call it Casa Ford's best kept secret. And we serve delicious Mexican breakfast, Mexican lunch. And just to be clear, we don't sell butt crack margaritas or come out on anything like that.
Right.
It is a Mexican restaurant, but...
While I was eating, I wonder if I could get like a lube oil and filter done while I'm eating breakfast.
You know what? That's one of the things that we focus on is a lot of the times, even when customers are buying their vehicles, you know, sometimes the credit application might take a little bit longer than expected. So they can come and grab a bite to eat. You know, it's air conditioned. We have TVs in here, and one of the great things about it is. Back in the day, Mr. Lowenfield, the owner of Casa Ford, rest in peace, had a great relationship with Don Haskins. So there's a lot of Don Haskins memorabilia from when Texas Western won the 1966 NCAA championship. Oscar de la Hoya has been around. Tim Hardaway has been around. So there's a lot of El Paso celebrity memorabilia around here. So, you know, I just want to invite everyone to come out. It is open to the public. And then, again, it's called the Shelby Shack Diner. It's located inside Casa Ford.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Primo. It's good to hear. And everybody should check out Glenn's article that he wrote about
And congratulations.
And congratulations, of course.
Thank you, guys. I hope to see you guys out here one of these days.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, Primo. And
have a great morning, and I hope your dogs are doing better.
Oh, yeah. Primo is the only guy. Primo's the guy who went out and found my dogs.
That's right. I remember.
Thanks, Primo. We'll talk to you later, buddy.
We'll see you. Have a good one.
Yeah, I told Primo he has a friend for life.
I remember.
He helped somebody. There was a party. Somebody left a gate open. The dogs got out, and Nico didn't even move his ass out of his seat to help me. In fact, he just laughed.
Oh, my God. And Primo was the only one that helped you.
No. The other, it was, okay, so it wasn't Willie that left the gate open, but it was one of Willie's friends, and they were definitely out in the neighborhood. Nico never budged from his chair.
I remember you telling me
And he's
this.
always talking about, those are my dogs as much as they're Buzz's dogs. Well,
I guess he showed us then.
I'm not going to take a bunch of pot shots at Nico because he's not here today. All right. Let's get to entertainment.
It's the Hollywood Cheese Man. It's the Hollywood Cheese Man. Joanna, tell us more.
There you go. Good morning, Joanna.
Hey, good morning. Sad news to start this morning. Shelley Duvall has passed away at the age of 75. Duvall was an iconic actress who lit up movie screens in the 70s and 80s mainly, including hit movies like The Shining and Popeye.
She was olive oil.
She was olive oil, yeah. A spokesman for the family said the cause of death was complications of diabetes. Her other credits include the movie Time Bandits and the comedy Roxanne, as well as the shows Fairy Tale Theater and Shelley Duvall's Bedtime Stories, which is what I know her best for. I think she also had another
Did you ever
show.
see the Fairy Tale Story?
Theater? Yes.
That is trippy.
I used to think not too long ago, well, was that a fever dream? Did I make all that up? And no, I looked it up on the internet and I was like, oh, no, this did exist. And it was.
And it was in the 80s.
It was so weird.
Peak 80s weird entertainment.
I don't remember what network it was running on, but I remember watching that. And then as I got older, I'm like, was that a fever dream? Did I make it up? No, it existed.
Shelley Duvall had fallen on some pretty hard times, and they did an interview with her, and she was talking about a trans-dimensional portal that existed in her backyard. She moved out to the Austin area, and I think toward the end of her life, like a lot of her fans had been kind of taking care of her and making sure she had money and enough food to eat and stuff.
Yes, you are not wrong, because the last photo of Shelley was taken 4 days ago when a friend and a super fan named Sarah visited her to celebrate her 75th birthday. And in the caption, she said that Shelley was having difficulties with her health over the past few months, but said that she was always grateful for the memories she created with her, and that she was happy she was able to give her comfort and companionship. Sarah has also been supporting Shelley for a while, and she even runs a Shelley-focused social media feed. Shelley had taken a hiatus from acting in public life for most of the past 2 decades and dealt with some health issues during that time. But she did return to acting to do a horror thriller called The Forest Hills just last year.
Wow, she was fantastic in The Shining. I hear that Kubrick was such a prick to her that he really traumatized her so he could get those screams, you know.
Right, and it's like a stark contrast from what she did before, like with the fairy tale theater. So none of that was really good prep for her to work on The Shining.
No, fairy tale theater, I think, was made after The Shining.
Yeah. Well, she used to, she was a nice, kind, very, like...
She's great in Popeye.
Oh, yeah.
With Robin Williams as Popeye. She was Olive Oil. He needs me, he needs me, he needs me.
R.I.P. Another R.I.P. this morning. The days of heading to the Red Kiosk to rent a DVD are ending as Redbox announced that after 22 years, it is officially shutting down.
I can't believe that thing's still around as long as it has been.
I can't believe it has been around for 22 years.
Right. In the day of streaming...
Yeah.
People go and line up outside of Walgreens to get a movie. It's weird.
Yes. Variety reports Redbox parent company Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment changed its Chapter 11 bankruptcy case to Chapter 7 yesterday. As a result, Redbox will shut down all its DVD rental kiosks and streaming services. Did you know they had streaming services?
I wonder if if you took an abandoned mall and just put in shops that have been closed for the past 20 or 30 years, if that would be popular, like if you had a Radio Shack in there and
I would definitely be interested in seeing what a Radio Shack would have right now.
Like a Gadzooks, if you remember.
Yeah. The announcement of Redbox shuttering comes as physical media becomes obsolete in favor of digital-only options to obtain media. Streaming services are more popular with consumers, providing them with a vast library of TV shows and movies to watch at their leisure for a monthly or annual price. But Redbox also had its own streaming service. It even announced Redbox Plus in 2020, a yearly subscription offering subscribers incentives such as extended return times and 12 or 24 rentals.
Yeah. Movies, so convenient. All you got to do is drive to the nearest Walgreens.
Right. Fans of the popular movie review social network Letterboxd were frustrated Thursday by an extended outage that left the service inaccessible. Was your daughter okay?
I don't know. She didn't mention anything about it. She was with me all day yesterday, and at the end of the day, she didn't say anything, but she's definitely a Letterboxd mega
I am
user.
getting into the Letterboxd game. I kind of get the appeal now. In a message on X, the official Letterboxd account acknowledged the outage with a crying face emoji and said it was working to restore service, and a message that said, "Apologies, fam. We haven't vanished. The team are working to restore order as quickly as possible." 6 hours later, Letterboxd said the service was back online, adding that users who are still experiencing issues with the site or app should email help@letterboxd.com and they will get back to you ASAP.
She set me up with my own account.
Oh, yeah?
And she's very disappointed that I'm not active on it. In fact, I've never even checked it out. So
she wants you to be active on it so you guys could bond over that.
Well, we go to all the movies together anyway.
Yeah, but she could probably bond with you a bit more if you're very active on it.
Okay.
You should try it.
What is it
exactly? You can kind of it's like you do your own movie reviews, your own movie journals, and then you can like interact with other film buffs.
It sounds like homework.
It's actually very, like, I found myself the other day spending about an hour on it, just like trying to put in my top 14 and stuff like that. We should do our top 14, Buzz.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but all right.
But I'll teach you. It'll be fine. Imagine having to explain pegging to Disney and MCU execs. That's exactly what Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige had to do. Deadpool and Wolverine is primed to be the first R-rated movie in Disney's MCU, and the Merc with Mouth has a long history of spewing profanity and violence, which we've seen in the first and second Deadpool movies. And judging by its first few trailers, Deadpool and Wolverine will fall right into line, marking a major moment for MCU history.
I think all of these employees knew what pegging was, but they just wanted to hear the studio head try to explain it, like walking through a minefield, explaining what it is to your employees.
Well, some clips have already shown Deadpool taking shots at Disney's expense including this line in question from the trailer.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Is that supposed to be scary? Pegging isn't new for me, friendo, but it is for Disney.
That's the line.
When you started doing this story, I'm like, I think I know what that term refers to, but I'm not 100% sure, so I looked it up.
Yeah, you can
It
Google
is what
that
I
at your
thought.
own expense. That's the line in question that actually had Kevin Feige pulling out the dictionary. The Marvel boss spoke about the learning curve.
Pulling out the dictionary.
The Marvel boss spoke about the learning curve associated with the Deadpool and Wolverine's MCU debut during an interview with Variety. And although he's familiar with what pegging is, not everyone who saw the trailer was aware. And he said, quote, I know what pegging is. It's in the first Deadpool movie, but there were people I work with who didn't know what it was, and I had to explain it to them. Feige's talk with Marvel staff
To be a fly on the wall during those conversations, right?
Feige's talk with Marvel staff was likely one of a few conversations that needed to happen as work on Deadpool and Wolverine proceeded. Comic book fans everywhere have been curious to see just how far Marvel and Disney would let the third live-action Deadpool movie go. Another trailer gag sees Deadpool teasing that Feige said cocaine was off limits, but we'll just have to wait and see. Deadpool and Wolverine opens.
There's a whole scene where him and Leslie Uggams go back and forth about how much he wants to do some blow in the new movie. So
all right, yeah, we're just gonna have to
that
see.
off.
Deadpool and Wolverine opens in theaters July 26th, and finally, there's now a reality series to find the next Hallmark holiday movie star. By the way, happy Christmas in July to those who celebrate. The new reality series is called Finding Mr. Christmas, and it'll premiere sometime this fall on Hallmark's streaming service.
You know, the one thing I could say about the Hallmark movies is they're standalone movies.
Yeah, at least you don't have to watch like 5 other ones to find out what's going to happen in this one.
At least they don't have a stupid reality show that's going to have like 4 dozen seasons in 1 year.
Right.
But that's right out the window. When I visit my mom and I go on her Netflix, I see all the stuff that she's watched.
Is it all like Hallmark
it's all Hallmark Christmas movies.
There's your perfect
or
audience.
stuff about Jesus.
Love it. 10 men will compete in a series of challenges to test their acting skills and Christmas spirit. Jonathan Bennett will be the host. He's been in Hallmark movies, but you probably know him best as Aaron Samuels from Mean Girls, who looks sexy with his hair pushed back. If you know, you know. The winner will earn the title of Mr. Christmas and will film his movie this summer. The movie will premiere later this year on the Hallmark Channel during the countdown to Christmas. Christmas in July. This is nice.
I thought Christmas in July was just an excuse for car dealerships to have sales in July.
Not anymore. With your entertainment news, I'm Joanna Barba.
This weekend, Hallmark's Christmas in July begins with Christmas at the fireworks stand. He's a buff CrossFit competitor with rippling pecs and a bad case of ED, who owns a chain of fireworks stands. She's a smoking hot professional cabinet maker who's trying to balance extreme shyness with a love of hard wood. Is his firecracker a dud? Or will sparks fly? Come on, what are you, a Yankee Doodle dummy? It's Christmas at the fireworks stand. All this weekend on the Hallmark Channel.
Artist interviews, new music discoveries, celebrating artists' birthdays, commemorating releases, champion of all things rock.
Critical care, our children are at home. El Paso Children's Hospital, created by El Pasoans for generations to come.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
On Reddit, people were sharing their stories about the time they dated somebody who was really, really dumb.
Okay.
Do you have an I'm dating an idiot story because these people on Reddit do.
Oh.
And I'll share some of those with you coming up in just a few moments, okay? New in theaters today, Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson in Fly Me to the Moon, PG-13. So it looks like it's set during the lead up to the moon mission, the Apollo missions.
Oh, I don't think I've seen a trailer to it yet.
And they fake the moon landing. I just feel like this is going to be gasoline on the fire for all kinds of like moon deniers and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Somebody also said on Twitter, they said, Fly Me to the Moon looks like a fake movie inside a real movie.
Maybe that's the twist.
And Long Legs. The FBI is tracking down an elusive serial killer known as Long Legs, played by Nicolas Cage. Also stars Micah Monroe and Blair Underwood. So those are the new movies in theaters. Brian Kennedy is going to run for mayor. This was not a very well-kept secret. Like, everybody kind of inside City Hall knew that Brian was going to run for mayor, but he filed his paperwork this week. So that's front page news today in the El Paso Times. Another big player in local politics is running for El Paso mayor, says Adam Powell's article in today's EP Times. West Side City Rep Brian Kennedy entered City Hall Thursday morning and filed his paperwork to officially join El Paso's mayoral contest. Kennedy's interest into the mayor's race means his District 1 seat on the city council is now up for grabs. However, that's the article then goes to like page 4, and I left that in the bathroom. So, hey, who are the special guests that are? I know Sissy Spacek is one. Am I right? Sissy Spacek is coming to the Plaza Theater Film Festival.
Yes, and Mira Sorvino.
Mira Sorvino, Academy Award winner.
Romy.
Well,
from Romy and Michelle's high school reunion.
Her dad is Paul Sorvino.
Yes.
From Goodfellas and a bunch of other mob movies. Are they going to be showing Mighty Aphrodite? Or,
they are, yes.
And Romy and Michelle?
And Romy and Michelle's high school reunion.
And for Sissy Spacek, I imagine probably Coal Miner's daughter,
yes.
Sure.
Oh,
Carrie?
I have the whole list in that other room over there. And Carrie. They will also be showing Carrie.
They've also got a story in the paper today. They're going to do kind of like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 for Showgirls, the Paul Verhoeven movie that came out in the 1990s and usually gets picked as one of the worst movies of that decade.
Nice.
Remember it starred Jessie from Saved by the Bell as a showgirl?
And she couldn't say Versace.
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 It's pronounced Versace. Oh, yeah. Kyle MacLachlan was in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gina Gershon.
That's right. So they're going to have an El Pasoan who spent decades writing in Seattle, and he's going to do the commentary on Showgirls, something he's been doing at movie festivals since 1999.
Buzz, we should get in on something like that.
I would love to just sit like we do. Sometimes Joanna and I do. We go to the movies. We call it B&J's at the movies. Buzz and Joanna at the movies. And often we go and there's nobody in the theater but us.
Right.
And I mean, not a single soul.
Yeah. It's
At
just
that
the two
point,
of us.
we just go all Mystery Science Theater 3000, right?
We do, yeah.
Yeah. And I think, especially if the movie's bad, we're way more entertaining than the movie is.
It is so hella fun.
Right. We crack ourselves up. What would we have to do to start doing that like with an audience? I'd be happy to do that. Somebody asked people for their biggest I'm dating an idiot stories. And I got some doozies here. This is from Reddit. If anybody has their own story, let me give out a couple of phone numbers. You call and leave a message on the neckline. Tell us how dumb the person was that you dated one time. Toll-free neckline is 844-805-NECK. That's 844-805-6325. I'll start.
Okay.
And by the way, I'm very fond of this person that I once dated. So I'm not going to say the name, but
Okay.
not the sharpest crayon in the box, you know?
Sometimes they're not that smart.
We were driving by up like on Thunderbird, because I used to live kind of at the top of Thunderbird 20 years ago, and we passed the synagogue. You know the one I'm talking about? It's right across from Western Hills Elementary.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a gigantic synagogue. And so my girlfriend at the time says, you know, I took my kids there to hunt for Easter eggs, and everybody looked at me like I was crazy. And I said,
did you look at her like she was crazy?
And I said, you took them there? Yeah, to that church. And I said, that's a synagogue. And she goes, well, I didn't go on Sunday. I went on Saturday when nobody would be there, but everybody showed up, and they were just looking at us like we were crazy.
Oh, and were you just
Jews
like,
go to synagogue on Saturday, not Sunday. So she was hiding Easter eggs the day before Easter on the premises of the synagogue.
And everyone showed up. I didn't know what they were doing there.
Right. I didn't want to interrupt church, so I didn't go on Sunday. I went on Saturday and hid Easter eggs with my kids.
And were you just like, oh, honey.
Oh. I honestly should have kept a journal, and I could have made it a best-selling book with this one.
Sometimes you like the person enough to be like, they're so cute that they're dumb.
Yeah.
It's cute. And you kind of like let it
was
pass.
having a dumb but very adorable puppy.
You're
but
like, aw.
adorable. All right, here's somebody put this on Reddit about the time they were dating an idiot. Quote, they put shrimp in my food to see if I'm really allergic to shellfish or just being dramatic. It required an EpiPen and a trip to the ER.
Oh, my God. That sounds almost like a crime.
A woman says about somebody she dated, they tried to argue with me about whether babies can breathe underwater.
Huh.
We had a heated debate about whether or not dinosaurs were alive during the American Revolution. The girlfriend's stance was, there's no way we'll ever know.
I guess we'll never know.
A guy spit gum out on the sidewalk and his girlfriend told him not to do that. He said, don't worry, it'll evaporate. I guess given enough time, it'll something. I don't know if evaporate's the right word, but God, don't you hate when especially when it's hot and you're in a parking lot and the next thing you know, you got somebody's gum on the bottom of your shoe?
Terrible.
Google did an April Fool's joke a few years ago claiming you could taste things by licking your phone screen. Girl says her boyfriend, quote, did it several times and said it doesn't work. Two options for dinner, an Italian restaurant or one with more options. She said she hated Italian, so they chose the non-Italian restaurant.
Okay.
She ordered lasagna.
Oh, my God. I would have started a fight and been like, we didn't go to that other place, and you ordered a lasagna here?
You could have had lasagna at an Italian restaurant.
They're all like, I don't like Italian food.
In the movie Seven, everyone dies for committing one of the 7 deadly sins. This girl writes, in the scene where you see the word gluttony written on the wall, her boyfriend said, oh, gluten.
That's how he died. He ate gluten.
Someone said a restaurant made their own pickles.
Oh, wow.
And this lady's boyfriend said, no way, pickles grow on bushes. I guess maybe technically cucumbers grow on vines on the ground.
It could
be
mistaken for a bush maybe.
A woman wanted to know the breed of someone's dog and asked, is he a Belgian waffle? A woman that this guy dated thought the sun and the moon were the same object. The moon is just the sun when it runs out of fuel each day.
It has a limit, yeah.
Oh, come on.
No, that can't be right.
I don't know. We had a caller yesterday very seriously tell us that
Oh,
global
that's right.
warming is because the sun,
The sun
is getting hotter. On a first date, a woman told her date that she wanted to be a veteran because she loves animals so much. A veterinarian?
Oh. Who are the idiots here?
The idiots or the people
Are the
for
people
dating
who
them?
date them.
One woman writes that a guy she dated always bragged that he had never read a book in his life.
You know, I have met guys like that on dates, and they think it's like a flex.
I've never read a book.
I don't read
somebody
books.
on a date who said they'd never read
They've
a book?
never read, like, they're proud. They're like, I did, like, in school when they made me, but not because I wanted to.
My dad wasn't a reader. I think he told me the only book he's ever read all the way through is the Bible.
Wow.
But not all at once.
Stop saying it's a flex that you've never read a book. It's not the flex you think it is.
I got a couple more here, but if anybody's got their story about the time you dated an idiot, let us know. Give us a call. Neckline number is 844-805-NECK. And the studio line is 915-910-4995. A woman writes, a guy I was dating thought Harriet Tubman actually drove a train and that the Underground Railroad was literally a subway.
Ugh.
And a girl I was dating, says somebody in Reddit, thought Mark Twain was Shania Twain's husband. Derek just wrote in. I always count on Derek.
I love Derek.
I dated a girl who asked for ranch on her Caesar salad. Not the dumbest of the ones that we've heard here, but that's
not so bad.
That's not so bad. All right. If anybody's got a call, leave us a message. Call us on the studio. I do see calls coming in. So let's take a break and we'll come back and get some of these going when the Buzz Adams Morning Show returns right after this.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5.
It's always more. Park Racetrack and Casino.
Keep it fun. Play responsibly. Need help? Call 1-800-572-1142.
Broadcasting in El Paso to El Paso. The Buzz Adams Morning Show on 95.5 KLAQ.
A lot of these calls are coming in fast and furious, especially on the neckline. So I'm probably just going to load them up and play them without listening to them. But we've got a couple of live callers on Reddit. People were talking about the time they dated an idiot, and most of the stories are cute. Some of them almost endearing, but idiotic. Talk to Joe, who's calling from Las Cruces. Hello, Joe.
Yeah, morning, Buzz.
Hey.
I got a great one. Well, first, let me tell you, I'm a Civil War buff because my great-great-grandfather fought for the Union in Kansas 7th Cavalry. But anyway, this girl I was dating had come over to my place. We're getting ready to go out for dinner, and I had CNN in the background, and the story caught my eye, and it was the custodian at the Smithsonian Institute, restoration, discovered a secret message that was hidden inside Abraham Lincoln's personal watch.
Inside his watch?
Yeah. And I guess this guy had hidden in there, 150 years ago?
Yeah.
And this got restored on it. And I go, wow. I wonder why they needed to open the back of the watch in the first place. And she looked at me and said, maybe they had to change the batteries. and I just looked at her and I go, oh, yeah, well.
Oh, yeah.
Probably had to reset the digital time for.
They might have had crude batteries in the 1860s, but not the kind that would fit in a watch.
No, it was a pocket watch.
Yeah, right. So you wind it. All right.
Yeah.
Did you hold it against her, or did you accept that?
Oh yeah, I did. Later that night.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate the call.
I told her.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
I was going to say, well, if I told you had a 6'3" body, would you hold it against me?
That's quoting the Bellamy brothers there.
No, actually, Groucho Marx.
Oh, yeah? All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe. If I said you had a beautiful body, would you hold it against me? You remember that song?
From Britney Spears?
No, it was the Bellamy Brothers, and it came out like in 82 or 3.
Okay, well, Britney has a song that sounds like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Here, Chris. Chris has a dated an idiot story. Hi, Chris.
Oh, Chris.
Hello. I'm going to put Chris back on hold for a second.
Come back to us, Chris.
Maybe he'll be there when we come back. All right, let me get a couple necklines going.
Hey, Buzz. Hey, Joanna.
Hi.
I was going out with somebody that thought Star Wars and Star Trek were the same thing, dude. I felt completely insulted being a Star Wars guy, dude. Completely insulted. Anyways, love the show. You guys have a good day. Be safe.
Yeah, it would be hard for me to understand how anybody alive
at this point now
doesn't know Star Wars from Star Trek. But I guess, like, if I'm not into something, like I don't know this anime from that anime, I really don't know what the difference is between a Pokemon and a Super Mario. I mean, I know they're different. They're different characters, but I don't think. It just depends on what you're into, right? Here you go. Let's get another call. I don't think this one is on topic, but it's on the VIP line, so I better pick it up.
Oh.
Good morning, Buzz, Joanna, and Nico. AKA, I guess I'll show up today. This is Donald J. Trump calling into the neckline. And I have a very important message today. I just switched hairsprays. I used to use Aquanet for the past 7 years. But recently I switched over to Aussie, and now my hair smells like grapes. Yes, grapes, the green ones, not the purple ones. So now my hair not even looks like cotton candy, but also smells like it too. I hope you all have a great morning, El Paso. This message has been approved by me, Donald J. Trump.
All right.
Nice.
Good to hear AI Trump back on calling into the neckline.
Hey, Buzz, all this talk about dates and whatnot, you know the golden rule, man, is as long as they're hot, it don't matter how dumb they are, right? Have a great day, guys. Love y'all.
Now, I've known people before, and this isn't just like of the opposite sex. I've known people who are really smart about some things, but then have these huge gaps in their knowledge. You know what I mean? It's like I've known people who don't have a lot of book smarts, but they have a lot of common sense, and vice versa. I've known some people who are really, really educated, but when it comes to some basic things that you expect everybody to know, they just don't know that. I think you could probably say the same about me to some extent. You want me to try Chris again?
Oh, yeah. Chris is still there.
Hey, Chris. Nah, I think Chris is gone.
Oh, Chris.
Nah. That's okay. We got a bunch of other calls. Not all of them on topic, but that's fine, too. We got this dining deal that's going to be going. Did you just read one?
I'm reading from the Reddit.
Oh, yeah.
Like some of them.
Hey, what's up, morning show? Well, good morning, Buzz. Good morning, Joanna.
Hi.
Hope you guys are having a good Friday morning.
Mm-hmm.
So, a little bit off topic, but along with the music. The band The Who. Not The Who, but The Who. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the Mongolian Who.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't heard, I know you guys have played some of their songs before on air, but I don't know if you guys have heard, but a couple of years ago, they did a cover of Metallica's Sad But True. If you haven't heard it, check it out, man. I think it sounds really awesome. All right, you guys all have yourself a good morning. Latest.
Not only are we familiar with the Mongolian band, The Who, which is spelled H-U.
Yes.
They did their first radio performance using acoustic instruments on our show.
Yes, they did.
And they brought in these instruments, like traditional Mongolian instruments, that were like crazy look. They look like something out of like a Game of Thrones or something. Kind of just very different instruments. And they also do that throat singing. You know?
Yeah.
But it sounds really, it's almost like you make your human voice sound like a didgeridoo. But I had not heard the Metallica cover, though. Oh, here you go. Sad but True by The Who. I found it here. What kind of instrument do you think that is?
I don't know, but they brought in
a mouth harp. You know, you ever seen those?
Yeah.
Also known as, and I don't know if this is incorrect now, but it used to be called a Jew's harp.
A Jew's harp.
That's what the... Yeah, it's the instrument Snoopy used to play in Charlie Brown cartoons. Oh, and none of them spoke a single word of English other than hello.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
we had to have a translator.
We had a translator, and we did the interview through the translator, and it was great. And they played these wild sci-fi looking instruments right here in the studio. They also looked very old, the instruments. They sometimes have people doing vocals, right, on their songs?
Yeah.
They're not just a purely instrumental band, right?
No, look.
Is that in Mongolian?
I think so. I don't think I'd ever heard it. Yeah, that's Mongolian, dude.
Yeah, there's a band called The Who. They're from Mongolia. And thanks for tipping us off. I had not heard that song before. A few other calls here before we got to take a break. Joanna's going to have the news coming up.
Hey, good morning, guys. Happy Friday. I'm just calling today, kind of changing the subject. I was reading, I was going through my Facebook this morning, and I'm part of a bunch of groups, joke groups, funny groups, satire groups, and one of the satire groups posted a satirical meme of Tim Allen, Roseanne Barr, going on an anti-woke comedy tour, and it included Jim Brewer.
And I don't know if you caught that, an anti-woke comedy tour?
Oh, okay. No, it was obviously the meme is just satirical, but I thought to myself, Jim Brewer, is he any woke? I hadn't heard anything about him for years, and then when Metallica came, he opened up for Metallica, so it was like, oh, wow, this guy's still alive. And, I guess that was kind of it. So I decided to go to Jim Brewer's Facebook page, and holy crap.
Really?
Uh-oh.
The guy's not just any woke. He went full MAGA. It is a wow. Anyways, I'm going to troll that crap out of him. Anyways, have a good one, guys. Have a good weekend.
Jim Brewer, who was on Saturday Night Live, I'd say his most famous character was Goat Boy in the mid-90s.
Right.
Was really cool with us. He got Brandon front row seats.
He did.
For
he
that,
became
for that show.
Brandon
He
for
became really good friends with Brandon. He's always been, really cool with us, and his appearances on the show are great.
He was so cool when he came in that time. Yeah.
Now I kind of don't want to check out his page. I don't want to see that Jim Brewer went 100%
what did he say,
MAGA.
His Facebook page?
Did he say Facebook?
I can't remember.
Morning, Buzz. Morning, Joanna. Hey, I just wanted to get y'all's opinion on something. Y'all are talking about that new Channing Tatum movie. I love everything Hollywood. I know Channing Tatum's famous. I know John Cena's famous. But they're not good actors. I know they draw in crowds, but they're not good actors. What do you guys think? Maybe it's just me. I'm a nobody, but just for sake of conversation. Anyways, have a great day, guys. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
Channing Tatum, in my estimation, is very talented and in a lot of different ways. And I point to a little-known Coen Brothers movie called Hail Caesar. And it's supposed to be set in the 50s, and he's a Hollywood actor who's in one of these dancing and singing numbers.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just immensely talented, such a good dancer and such a good singer. And I think he has a thing going on that a lot of really handsome actors have. He is a good actor. He's got subtlety to his acting, but it's hard. It's hard to acknowledge it because he's so handsome, you know?
Okay.
Like it took
You're
me a
distracted
long
by how
time
handsome he is.
it took me longer than it should have to realize that Brad Pitt is a really good actor.
Okay.
You know, it probably wasn't until 12 Monkeys where he played somebody in a psycho ward that I was like, you know, he's not
That
just
is
a pretty
good
face. He's
acting.
Channing Tatum, I think, is a good actor. And John Cena, as far as somebody who was a wrestler, he's got real box office star, potential. I don't think he's as good an actor as Channing Tatum. I don't think Channing Tatum is as good an actor as Daniel Day-Lewis, but who is?
They each
But I
have
think
their
they are
own
very.
range.
Yeah, no, I think they're both very credible actors. I enjoy them in most of the stuff I see them in. All right, we got the dating dumb people topic coming back up again via the neckline.
Hey, what's up, morning show? Hope you guys are doing well. On the topic of the dumb people, or the dating dumb people, me and this girl, we didn't date. We were co-workers, but it's kind of a dumb story. We used to work at a barbecue restaurant, right? And in order for us to write down an order for, like, let's say somebody wanted like a pound of brisket or something, we would put the pound sign. So she comes back to where we are with all the meat and everything, and she goes,
I wonder what he means by the pound, like LB period or the pound sign on
the phone?
On the phone? What
Yeah.
are you calling the pound sign?
I need to get some hashtag brisket,
okay.
please.
He means the pound sign on the phone. Because sometimes it's used as the hashtag thing on social media. You use the pound sign to do a hashtag.
But they use it to mean
a pound.
A measurement of weight.
Yes.
They use why not just use LB?
That's a good point, too.
Period.
But maybe they were just like, just draw the hashtag. I was going to say hashtag.
That's a pound. I need a pound.
Pound sign, yeah.
So she comes back to where we are with all the meat and everything, and she goes, I need to get some hashtag brisket, please. And we all just looked at her like, what? Like, yeah, I need hashtag brisket. I go and I look at the order. I'm like, dude, that's just pound of brisket. And we all just had a good laugh. She's like, no, that's hashtag. Like, no, that's pound.
I got to tell you,
She must have been young.
Yeah, she's probably a little younger than you guys, but also I can see it from her point of view. Who uses the hashtag from a phone or the pound sign from a phone to mean a unit of measure?
Yeah, you could just put LB. Maybe that's just the thing that they had there.
I might be confused by that. Maybe every restaurant has their own shorthand.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sticking up for the dumb coworker here.
Symbol of hashtag, but it's called pound. Again, we didn't date. She's more of a friend and a coworker. But I thought that was hilarious. I had to share that with you guys.
Don't be ashamed to admit you dated just because she was an idiot. This is a safe place.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to say in the same position, I might have said, what is this hashtag or what is this pound? You know, what does this even mean? I don't think I would have it would have been obvious to me.
You want to try online dating, but don't know an SWM from a TGP? No problem. That's why we started OK Stupid. OK Stupid? OK Stupid is the online dating website for people who don't understand the world of online dating. Here's one.
seeking bi-curious male for good times. Hey, I'm curious, and I like buying stuff. Let the good times roll.
At OK Stupid, you'll have access to hundreds of dating profiles from people just like you who have no idea what the they're doing.
Let's see. Top needs sub. Sounds like that guy's in the Navy. BBW seeking sane. No, I'm not into women's basketball. Here's one. Into S&M and 420 friendly. Hey, I can go shopping at S&M at 420. It's a date.
OK Stupid, the internet's only online dating website for people who don't understand online dating.
Heavy CBT. Cheese, bacon, and tomato? I'm in.
Okay.
All right. What is C? Do you know that
No.
one? I don't know that one either.
Now that I'm going to have to go to OK Stupid.
We're going to take a break. Joanna's going to have a look at news headlines coming up in just a moment.
Nearly all AT&T cell customers' call and text records were exposed in a massive breach. I'll have the details next in news.
Music news, concert updates, song and album factoids, and of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock. Oh,
Dodge.com. 0.9% APR is $14.27 per thousand finance with approved credit. Includes factory rebate and dealer discount plus TTNL on select vehicles. Offers not combined.
Oh, guess who this is?
Buzz Adams and the KLAQ Morning Show.
You must be the greatest radio show host ever.
Buzz is back.
Nico is out today. Joanna's going to have news headlines, and those are coming up in just a moment. It's Friday, everybody.
Stop your work, just get up and start singing. Come on, it's Friday. When it's happy hour, let's all go out drinking. Come on, it's Friday. End of the week, we've been working together. It started out on Monday and it kept dragging on. 5 o'clock is coming, we'll celebrate together. Let's get some margaritas and make sure they are strong. Working too long, now it's time for relaxing. Come on, it's Friday. Let's hit the bars and maybe we'll get some action. Come on, it's Friday. Come on, it's Friday. Come on, it's
It is time for our news headlines for this Friday morning.
Morning is the news. Friday. All of it is good. Friday. Weather's good.
Well, we're going to have to break this up into two parts, aren't we?
No, I think we could go full on.
Oh, you think so?
Yes.
Do we only have one more break we have to take this out?
Only one more, yes.
All right. Pat myself on the back there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and because you
I was producing.
Bunched up some of the commercial.
Yeah.
Made some commercial magic happen.
I did.
Here is Joanna Barba with today's news headlines. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning. President Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi are reportedly have spoken privately about the future of President Joe Biden's 2024 campaign as a growing list of Democrats look to steer him out of the race. Sources say both the former president and ex-speaker are concerned about how much harder they think it has become for Biden to beat former President Trump, but are not sure what to do about it. Biden dismissed concerns about his health during a high-stakes solo news conference on Thursday and said that he would keep moving. However, some analysts say it may be too late for Biden to convince many potential voters after his poor debate performance and amid a pattern of public gaffes. On Thursday, Biden mistakenly called Vice President Harris Vice President Trump and also accidentally introduced Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. See, even now I'm doing it, as President Putin.
So I'm going to play these for you here. And the one where he called his Vice President Donald Trump was one of the first questions out of the gate.
Right out of the gate.
So that didn't reassure. Although, I guess they're saying, I didn't see it, I wasn't at home. I planned on being, but I just got busy doing other stuff. But I was watching people talk about it. Two different talking heads on two different networks, Anderson Cooper on CNN and somebody on MSNBC, both compared it to talking to an elderly parent about giving up their car keys.
Oh.
Yeah. So here are a couple of the gaffes. And this is from the big speech, the first solo press conference Biden has done in almost a year.
Right.
That was supposed to reassure people.
That's what the compact says, loudly and clearly. And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. We're going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin, we got to worry about it. Anyway.
And
he caught himself.
Here, somebody asked him a question at the press conference. I think this was the very first question. Are you confident in Vice President Kamala Harris's ability to step up if the need should arise?
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, so I think she was not qualified to be president.
Oh.
You know, that kind of condition, which the kindest way to put it would be like having senior moments.
Yeah.
But my dad had Alzheimer's. He had Parkinson's too. And some of this seems very familiar. It's just, you know, it's foggy. And in my experience, unless there's a miracle cure, that condition does not get better with age.
Right.
So I'd be perfectly frank with you. I would still vote for Biden if he's on the ticket because I don't want Trump to get in the White House and then never leave because he wanted to be a dictator. I mean, he tried to do it once already.
A lot of people say, I'm not voting for Biden. I'm voting against Trump.
Yeah. Well, that's the truth.
It's getting closer to that. So what are they going to do about it?
Yeah, this
now?
wasn't he did not knock it out of the park last night.
It did not really make people feel any better.
Right.
Nearly all AT&T cell customers' call and text records exposed in a massive breach. The call and text message records of tens of millions AT&T cell phone customers in mid to late 2022 were exposed in the breach. AT&T said the compromised data includes the telephone numbers of nearly all of its cellular customers and the customers of mobile virtual network operators on its network between May 1st of 2022 and October 31st of 2022. The breach also included AT&T landline customers who interacted with those cell numbers.
The way I heard somebody explaining it, like they wouldn't be able to know what your name is based on the leak, but say I called you yesterday at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
It would show that this number called this number, and then you could, with that information.
Right.
Also,
so it has like the number of times you called or talked with someone and the number of times you text somebody.
I got to tell you, I'm not worried about that at all.
Yeah, they're going to be like,
they didn't get your social
person?
security number. They didn't get your bank routing number or anything.
They're just going to be like, Joanna texted this one person.
Also, they said they've made an
months.
arrest, which seems to indicate that whoever was did this data breach is inside the United States. Usually it's from somewhere and there's no way they can even get them. But since they've made an arrest, it seems to indicate that the breach was done by somebody in the U.S.
Right. Trump is speaking out about George Clooney's devastating New York Times op-ed in which he called on Biden to drop out of the presidential election by criticizing Clooney. Trump posted in a lengthy Truth social media post, quote, "So now fake actor George Clooney, who never came close to making a great movie, is getting into the act. He's turned on Crooked Joe like the rats they both are. What does Clooney know about anything? He uses the Democrat talking point that Biden, the worst president in the history of the United States, has saved our democracy. No, Crooked Joe was the one who weaponized law enforcement against his political opponent, who created the most devastating inflation in the history of our country, who embarrassed our nation in Afghanistan, and whose crazy open border policy has allowed millions of people to illegally pour into our country, many from prisons and mental institutions."
All right. So is Joe Biden this criminal mastermind who's secretly pulling all the strings behind the scenes, or is he suffering dementia to the point where he should be stripped of power?
Pick a side.
Which one is it going to be, MAGA Nation?
Really? I mean, everybody's going to be focusing on the little things he just says. I mean, 1, 2, 3 words like, please. I mean, come on. Like he said, let him, listen to Trump speak. You want a lunatic like Trump talking about like sharks and batteries, and Hannibal Lecter, and just talking out of, and toilet flushing, really? He doesn't talk about how he's going to help America.
I want to remind you, people are worried, well, how much is Biden engaged in the job? Like, how much does he understand what's being said? And, some of the other leaders like Macron from France and the new British prime minister said that he talked to them in private about these very complicated global issues, foreign policy type of issues, and seemed really on point with that. I want to remind you, though, plenty of people who work for Trump, like John Kelly, who was his chief of staff, said that they couldn't get him to pay attention during daily briefings. They had to put his name in it and almost spoon feed it to him like a baby because he was so uninterested. God. So, whatever you say about Biden, people... Let's put it this way. Joe Biden's vice president at this point is endorsing him. Donald Trump's vice president is not endorsing Donald Trump.
Good point.
And there were plenty of reports from these people. And I know as soon as anybody comes out of MAGA world and has some criticism, they are ostracized. But you've got plenty of these people that work very closely, and they all kind of tell the same story, that Trump did not seem interested in a lot of the important issues, and it had to be dumbed down to a level. And they said even then we had to insert his name multiple times into it just to keep him focused and interested in what was going on. So let's be realistic here when we're talking about this. Neither one of these are good options.
The Truth social media post went on to end and say, Clooney should get out of politics and go back to television. Movies never really worked for him.
What? He's one of the biggest movie stars.
Clooney.
He didn't see Gravity? He didn't see Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
He's only in Gravity for like 15 minutes, but still.
It's been suggested by political pundits that Trump probably wants Biden to stay in the race, given post-debate polls showed Trump increasing his pre-debate lead.
Now, that should worry people who are sticking by Biden, is that Trump does not want him getting out of the race.
Right. If he wants that, why? I think we know why. Governor Greg Abbott is calling for an investigation into why so many Texans lost power after Hurricane Beryl made landfall on Monday, and why it's taking so long to get the lights back on.
And also, when is Ted Cruz going to Alaska? I'm just trying to think of some place where it's cold.
Abbott said he's directing the Public Utility Commission to look into why this sort of thing happens so often in Houston. The governor was focusing on CenterPoint Energy, which has operated in the area for over 100 years, and called this the largest outage event in their history. As it stands today, just over 1 million customers are still without power amid sweltering temperatures in that region. Today marks the third day of testimony in actor Alec Baldwin's involuntary manslaughter trial, nearly 3 years after cinematographer Helena Hutchins was fatally shot on the set of the film Rust. Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, the armorer for the film who was responsible for firearm safety on set, has been called to testify today, but has been told to plead the fifth instead by her attorney. She was sentenced to 18 months in prison, the maximum sentence for involuntary manslaughter, back in April. A crime scene technician and a former Rust detective said this week that they believe 26-year-old Gutierrez-Reed was the one who brought the live rounds to set. Baldwin has pleaded not guilty and has maintained that he did not pull the trigger after he discharged the prop gun. Retail chain Big Lots is planning to close at least 35 stores this year amid falling sales and speculations that it may declare bankruptcy. Big
Lots, more like Big Less, right?
Oh, Big Lots. This one hurts. I love Big Lots. The Ohio-based retailer, which has locations in 48 states, reported in a filing to the Securities and Exchange Commission that it is expected to close 35 to 40 stores this year, while opening 3 new locations. The planned closures come as the total number of stores owned by the retailer has trended down in recent months from 1,427 locations during the first quarter of the last year to 1,392 as of the same period this year.
Do you remember when there were stores that were called like Everything's $1 and the 99-cent store?
Oh, yeah.
Are they not doing that pricing model anymore?
I don't think so.
Right. So I think it's funny that You can remember when there were dollar stores.
Loved
or
it,
everything's
yes.
$1, 99-cent store.
99-cent stores.
I can remember when those stores were called 5 and dimes.
Were things 5 and...
No, they were called dime stores when I was a kid.
Oh, dime stores.
Because that was, you could get stuff for a dime. But when my mom and dad were kids, they said those same stores were called 5 and dime stores because some of it might be as low as a nickel.
Wow, a nickel. Can you imagine that?
I guess if you go back enough in history, it's like half a penny store or whatever.
Now, Dollar Tree is a lie because they are a $1.25 tree.
Yeah.
And then they have a whole section that's like, oh, this is like a premium section. Things are $5,
right.
$15.
It's furniture, but it's $20. Now, Big Lots is the one that has a furniture part, right?
They have that. But at Dollar Tree, they have like home decor and stuff like that for like $15. And I was like, this is not $1. And finally, is there a specific phone alarm that you hate? Maybe you even forced your spouse to change it because it makes you wake up hating the world.
Can I answer that question?
Yeah, do you have one?
The Amber Alert.
The Amber You know, I will say waking up to an Amber Alert is not fun and kind of scary. CNN did a big write-up on the alarm sound Americans seem like they're most divided on. And a popular one is iPhones, and it's called By the Seaside. I don't have an iPhone, Buzz. Do you have one?
Gosh.
By the Seaside?
Where would I even go? In settings?
Yeah, I guess, or sounds. They say that this is the most hated morning alarm. Apple's been using it for over a decade, so you probably know it if you're using Apple. It's one of the ones that sounds like it's played on a Casio keyboard. Some people love it and think it's the most relaxing alarm to wake up to. One lady they talked to said that she always lets the full thing play in the morning and even does a little dance in bed. But for others, it's like nails on a chalkboard, especially because they've heard it so many times. I think I have it. Do you want to hear what it sounds like?
God, I have an iPhone. I've had iPhones since the first one came out, and I don't know how to do this.
Oh, yeah, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's like the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme played on a Casio keyboard.
It's the most common ringtone that people use, but one hater said that it feels like the song itself is almost mocking you in a way, like a, quote, horror movie where they do the nursery rhyme just before doom. The same guy said that he once tried using Just the Two of Us by Bill Withers, but stopped when he realized that it was ruining the song for him. The most hated alarm right here. By the Seaside. With your news, I'm Joanna Barba.
All right. Thank you, Joanna.
You're welcome.
We got a lot more coming up on the show. We got a lot of phone calls coming in. A lot of people have thoughts about President Biden's presentation, his solo press conference yesterday. And we are hearing all kinds of different opinions on it.
Yeah.
So we'll come back, take some more of those calls. I've also got random facts on the way. So we will have a segment of random facts coming up.
The Daily Calendar. It's July 12th, you know. It's French Fry Day and Eat Your Jell-O Day. Out of Jell-O? It's Amazon Prime Day. You can order some. Maybe you've noticed it's National Motorcycle Day. And if you like kebabs, the world likes them too. It's World Kebab Day. Today is also to recognize the use of paper bags to get rid of plastics, keep them from filling up the ocean. And that's your Daily Calendar.
Hi, it's Chuck, and tonight at 11 on Loudwire Night.
Saturday, July 21 and above. See Speaking Rock's Facebook for more info. The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a Town Square media station.
I've got a random fact segment coming up here. You can always learn something, or I find that I can always learn something through these random facts that we do.
Yeah.
I got a few phone calls, a few odds and ends I want to talk about. Some people wondered why Cappy hasn't been on the air this week. I think he went on vacation, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
But if he were here, he would definitely want me to let everyone know that we've got a dining deal that goes live in exactly 1 hour. The dining deal is something KLAQ does with SeizeTheDeal.com. And what we offer is a $50 food certificate for just $25. And we have different restaurants every week.
Yes.
You get that $50 food certificate. We print up 100 of them. And that's all. Once they're gone, they're gone. And the way you can get in on this deal... Oh, let me tell you about the restaurant. It's a new restaurant inside the Shops of Solana, formerly Sunland Park Mall, Le French Touch. They've got all kinds of gourmet goodness, savory crepes. Le French Touch has dine-in, takeout, and catering. And to get in on it, as soon as it hits 10 o'clock, go to KLAQ.com. Look for the Dining Deals button on the must-read bar at KLAQ.com. Also, we've got a Dining Deals button on the KLAQ mobile app. So if you got your phone and your app handy, you could do it that way. I believe the limit is 2 per customer this week. But only until we run out. So coming up in an hour, that's our dining deal, $50 of food at Le French Touch for only $25. The El Paso mayor's race just got a little more crowded. City Representative Brian Kennedy filed the paperwork to run for mayor, which I think everybody that, like everybody at City Hall knew Brian Kennedy was going to run for mayor. It was just a matter of time until he announced it. A couple other stories I want to hit you with before we do the random facts.
Hit us with stories.
El Paso man was arrested in connection with dumping a French bulldog in the desert. Now, sadly, people take dogs that aren't wanted anymore and just dump them out in the desert.
Yeah, that's real
all
sad.
the time. But French bulldogs are like one of the most expensive breeds right now.
Yeah, you could have sold that and somebody would have paid a lot of money for that.
I saw a sign. Somebody posted a sign on a telephone pole, around the neighborhood. French bulldog puppies, $4,000.
Yeah, that's how much they can go for.
Francesca, a French bulldog, is now in the loving and caring arms of an El Paso animal rescue called Mutt Love.
Oh, Francesca.
After she was found emaciated, malnourished, and dehydrated in the desert. Her owner was arrested on animal abuse charges.
That's terrible. Monster.
Well, yeah, and also... These are really popular. This is the breed that they shot Lady Gaga's dog walker over was for French bulldogs.
Did you not know that, dude? You could have sold her to a loving family who wanted her, and just dump her in the desert. Francesca.
You know how we talk about these bands that announce they're retiring and this is going to be their final tour?
Yes.
This didn't take long. Pat Sajak is coming back to host Wheel of Fortune.
What the hell?
The dude retired like 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Pat Sajak, it's announced, will host Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, which is set to premiere October 7th.
I thought he was going to enjoy a nice retirement.
I thought he was doing some kind of community theater in Hawaii or something.
Hawaii, dude.
Dude, give it a month at least before you come back from your retirement.
And I'm back in the game.
Just like that. 4 senators, this is bipartisan, 3 Democrats and a Republican, reached a bipartisan agreement for legislation that would ban stock trading among members of Congress, their spouses, and their dependents. Now, when you talk about crooked politicians, this is a thing Democrats and Republicans both do.
Uh-huh.
Say you're an elected official and you're on the Senate Finance Committee, or you're on the Congressional Oversight Committee, and you have some kind of sway over stock, companies that are traded on the stock market. Right now, there's nothing that says that your spouse, your husband or wife, couldn't invest based on this inside. For anybody else other than an elected official, it would be insider trading.
Right.
The thing that Martha Stewart went to prison for. And nothing's been done about it because so many of these lawmakers, cash in. It's like having a money tree. I got this inside information that the SEC is going to take this action against this company sell short or sell long. You tell your spouse what to do. So they want to actually pass legislation. It won't get passed, I don't think, because too many of these politicians just see it as their, one of the perks of the office. The agreement was reached by Senator John Ossoff, Democrat of Georgia, Gary Peters, Democrat Michigan, Josh Hawley, Republican of Missouri, and Jeff Merkley, Democrat from Oregon. So it's 3 Democrats and Hawley's the Republican. It requires congressional members, the president, the vice president, to divest from all covered investments beginning in 2027. That's if it goes through. And I don't think it will.
Oh, right.
This is just like a gravy train for some of these people. And it's politicians from both sides of the aisle.
Well, Buzz, you have blown my mind this morning.
What was it that finally blew your mind?
This song from the Bellamy Brothers.
If I said you had a beautiful body, would you hold it against me?
I did not know this existed at all.
If I said you have a beautiful body, would you hold it against me?
Because I thought you were talking about this gem instead.
If we could escape the crowd somehow, if I said I want your body now, would you hold it against me?
Wow, I did not know that song existed.
Buzz is over here singing a Britney Spears song.
It all started because a caller referenced something about if you had a beautiful body, would you hold it against me? And I said, oh, like the Bellamy Brothers song.
Uh-huh.
And I think the caller said, no, Groucho Marx said that. And he may have.
Yeah, probably. No, I didn't go deep diving into that. But I had to look up this Bellamy Brothers song.
God, that song, I must have been like in 7th grade. It was on the radio all the time. It was a crossover hit. They played it on country and top 40 stations.
Well, when I searched up Bellamy Brothers, it said pop duo.
They got a lot. They were mostly a country act, I think.
I am shooketh.
Now, if you like having your mind blown, I've got a few science stories here.
Okay.
In food news, okay? A startup called Savor, Savor, is working on a synthetic butter, not made from dairy, made from CO2 they pull out of the air.
The air butter?
Air butter.
What the hell?
Synthetic butter made from CO2 that they pull out of the air.
Okay.
This butter tastes a little greenhouse gassy to me. In ancient human news, a study found Neanderthals didn't really go extinct.
Okay.
They all moved to Oklahoma. No, I'm just kidding. You notice that was self-deprecating because I'm from Oklahoma, right?
You, yes.
So New Mexico, you dodged a bullet there. I decided to take that one for you. No, Neanderthals didn't really go extinct. We absorbed them.
They're in our bones?
Well, yeah, and they when you get your 23andMe or your DNA test, they can tell you like how much DNA from a Neanderthal you have.
What?
So apparently Neanderthals and Homo sapiens, modern humans, were boning down and that they still live on. Every single human,
So
unless your heritage is 100% from sub-Saharan Africa, you have Neanderthal. Mm-hmm.
So when somebody tries to insult you and tell you, you are a Neanderthal, you could be like,
yes, I am.
Yeah, probably.
This is the kind of story that I wish I had the math and physics knowledge to understand, because it's the type of thing that I only think about, if a bunch of people are sitting around smoking.
Oh, okay.
A study found that time might be a mirage woven into the fabric of the universe.
Whoa, what are they smoking?
What are they smoking?
And can we have some of that?
Physicists have struggled to understand the nature of time, but a new theoretical study suggests time could be an illusion woven at the quantum level.
Yeah, that's
I always thought of time as just kind of like a human construct, so you can refer to how long ago something happened and how far in the future it's going to be. Animals don't have a concept of time, or do they?
I don't know.
I mean, just the idea that something happened.
I think humans gave animals time. Like, they're like, you are now 5 years old. And the animal's like, what?
I don't know who said this. Probably Groucho Marx. Time, or Stephen Wright, or somebody like that. Time exists so everything doesn't happen all at once.
Good point.
It's real trippy, but I don't have the capacity to understand that kind of stuff, man.
Oh my God. I just clicked on a link for it. Time might be a mirage. Physicists have struggled to understand the nature of time. Yeah, me too. Right. And then there's some people who have time blindness, and that just causes a whole ruckus.
I cannot think about this sober. I'm sorry. In other space news, astronomers found a planet with an ocean surrounded by ice. So it looks like an eyeball.
Ooh. Looking up eyeball.
There you go.
Oh,
my God. So there's an ocean right in the middle. All of that around it is frozen ice, and it kind of looks like an eyeball.
It does look like an eyeball. Wow.
They also found a planet where it rains glass.
Oh, God.
And smells like farts.
Yeah, wow, that's
I would assume that would describe Uranus. Cure for lupus could be right around the corner.
Oh, wow.
And a team at Penn State may have found a way to turn tumor cells against each other, and this is very optimistic, finally beat cancer.
Wow.
Possibly.
Science.
Oh, yeah, we're right on the verge of really solving a lot of problems and making the world better for everybody, not just a few people. And, yeah, there are just so many people that seem to want to burn it all down, you know? It's like, I think if we hang on for 10 or 20 more years, the world's going to be a much better place, but you can't do anything crazy in that time.
Or it could all just be a whole garbage fire in 10 years' time, just the same.
Oh, we might be living like in the Middle Ages if things go really, really bad. But I think if we can hang on for another decade or two, we'll get to the point where they've cured cancer. Nobody's going hungry. You gotta believe in science.
You gotta believe.
When you go online and read for any amount of time, you realize not everybody is a big fan of science.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you ready for random facts?
Yes.
Let's get to it.
And now it's time for random
facts.
I've noticed that people really like when I have the last fact be an audio fact.
Yeah, that is fun.
Yeah, people enjoy that. All right, all of these have been fact-checked. I am confident to tell you that, these have been verified. They've all got a blue check mark by them.
Awesome.
Are all real facts. Random fact number 1. There's a Guinness World Record for most prolific cannibal. It's a tribal chief from Fiji who lived in the 1800s named Ratu Erdre, who ate between 872 and 999 people in his life.
Wow.
That's the one I'm going to try and break.
New goals.
Random fact number 2. I would love to hear from somebody who's live long enough to know this, to tell us the truth. Brushing your teeth didn't really take off in the United States until after World War II, when soldiers came home from the war bringing the habit of brushing teeth. So if you were alive before World War II, you'd be in your 80s by now.
Okay.
So maybe Biden could answer this. Did you not brush your teeth? Or was that just like, what? And until World War II ended and the soldiers, and then everybody started brushing their teeth? Is that true?
Oh, my God. What did they do then? Just walk around with a bunch of nasty breath?
Yeah.
Gingivitis. Oh.
I could not start my day with that morning breath, dead animal feeling that you have, when you first wake up? Yeah. God. Even when I'm as sick as a dog and don't plan on getting out of bed all day long, at least I brush my teeth. I can't imagine going without brushing your teeth, but apparently, and it's right here in Wikipedia, didn't really become a common practice in the U.S. until after World War II. And finally, I love this one because it's a band I love. Random fact for you. Electric Light Orchestra has the record for most top 40 hits.
Oh.
Wait, without a number one.
Oh, okay.
They had 20 songs that made the Billboard Top 40, but none of their songs went to number one. So here are some of the top 40 hit songs that I think if you're a classic rock fan, you're going to recognize all of these. None of them went to number one, though. You know that one, right?
Yeah.
One of my favorites right here. I love this song. It's one of my favorite songs. I'm going to even play it extra long because I love it so much. That's about enough. You know this one?
No.
That's a classic. You know this one, though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So just a little more on this fact. Their highest ranking song was Don't Bring Me Down, which got all the way up to number 4 in 1979. And that's, you know that one? Don't bring me down. And then they go, Bruce. Jeff Lynne from ELO was also one of the members of the Traveling Wilburys. Tom Petty and Bob Dylan and George Harrison and Roy Orbison. I don't want to forget him.
I like that part.
Bruce. That's who's Bruce?
Who's Bruce?
Bruce. You know what? I'm going down a rabbit hole later on this song. Who's Bruce?
Now I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole.
And those are your random facts.
These are just some facts that I learned and was amazed.
Everyone should try to learn something new each day.
To learn more, visit Western and get started today. Don't give up, rise up at Western Tech, college for the real world.
I want you to hear what this fool is saying.
And now, the big mouth of the border.
This is a whole other level.
Whole other level of insane.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show is back.
Yeah, what's going on?
Buzz, the people have spoken. They want you to do a trailer breakdown to the new Captain America movie.
It's a movie? It's not a Disney series?
No, it's a movie, and the trailer just came out like an hour ago. And I think it's time for a famous Buzz trailer breakdown. We haven't done one in so long.
I would be doing this completely cold. But I feel like I have followed the Marvel Cinematic Universe closely enough that I could, probably shed some light on it.
Oh, yeah? I'm going to send you the link.
Send me the link and I'll check it out.
Here it goes.
So there was a series called Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That was
Yes.
a Disney Plus series, and they had a new Captain America. It was Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn's son played the new Captain America.
Oh, yeah.
But it didn't make any sense because he didn't take the super serum formula. I got to watch that thing again. That's why Captain America is super, is because he took the super soldier serum.
Uh-huh.
But the new Captain America didn't, I don't think, took the serum and still had like Captain America powers.
Uh-huh.
So it definitely opened the
Right.
door in that series that Falcon, what's Anthony Mackie? Is that
Yes.
the actor's name? Anthony Mackie is going to take over the part of Captain America. At least that's the way it set it up in Falcon and Winter Soldier. So yeah, send me the link. We'll see.
Uh-huh. That's for you. We're also getting messages in the app chat about the ELO song, Buzz. He's not saying Bruce. It's saying Groos.
Groos?
Like Groos.
Oh,
What the hell is Groos?
that doesn't make any sense. Bruce is at least a name that exists. Who says, how many people are saying that?
A few. And then I
And
looked
what does
up
it
the
mean?
lyrics, Buzz. It says Groos.
Bruce?
Groos.
I said Bruce.
What the hell
Bruce
is
isn't even a
Bruce?
word.
Oh, look, there's a whole Quora thing on it.
Have you ever heard the song?
In the words.
This isn't an ELO song, but it's got a weird lyric in it where it's blinded by the light,
Oh, yeah.
wrapped up like a douche, another runner in the night. You've heard
yes,
that, right?
I've heard that.
Okay, so the
And you're
hit
like,
version
"Ugh."
of that was by Manfred Mann, but it was originally a Bruce Springsteen song.
Right.
One of his early songs, if you listen to the Springsteen song, the lyrics are a lot more plain. Revved up like a deuce, another runner in the night. Listen, Bruce Springsteen, I can't make out all his lyrics all the time, but at least I don't think that he's singing about feminine pads. That's not what a douche is, right?
No, it's not.
But people think the lyric is wrapped up like a douche.
Dude, I thought that for so long. And I'm all, that can't be right.
Right.
Especially in the days before you could just go on the internet to look up lyrics. You had to like listen closely, write them down.
I listened so closely, and it sounds exactly like they're saying wrapped up like a douche. And I've always wondered, did they do that intentionally? But it's revved up like a deuce coupe. I only know the term deuce coupe from other songs, like by the Beach Boys and crap.
Gross.
Hey, so a bunch of El Paso bands are doing a fundraiser for Ruidoso, and Glenn wrote an article about it, but I'm having computer problems. Can you tell us about it? And people could go,
for sure.
Unless your computer's wigging out like mine, you can see it
Yeah,
yourself.
yours looked a little weird right now, but you're right. Local bands and business owners are teaming up Saturday and Sunday to raise money for the victims of the fires and the flooding in Ruidoso over at B17 Bombers Oyster Pub. That's down at 201 South El Paso Street. The event starts on Saturday at 4 and on Sunday at 1. How fun.
Where's it going to be?
B17 Bombers Oyster
Okay.
Pub.
Downtown?
Downtown.
All right. They managed to save a lot of Ruidoso. I mean, Ruidoso didn't just go up in flames, but that took the work of a lot of firefighters and crews, like making backfires to start it and everything. So I also got an article. The Attorney General in New Mexico, whose name is Torres, is looking into reports that some of the hotels in New Mexico around Ruidoso were price gouging people who were fleeing the fire.
Oh, man, that's terrible.
So the AG, I've got that article up at KLAQ.com. The AG says that he says, first of all, these are unproven allegations at this point.
Okay.
But that his office is going to look into it. Not only customers said that they were being price gouged, some employees of the hotels said they raised their prices because so many people had to go, they had to evacuate. They're evacuees.
Douchey.
Right. It's kind of wrapped up like a douche, another runner in the night. Okay, so I got the link you sent me, takes me to Variety, but it also has like a story. Should I read any of that?
Okay.
Let me just read
Would
the
it
headline.
help?
Captain America Brave New World trailer. Anthony Mackie takes flight as Cap to stop Red Hulk and a presidential assassin.
Whoa.
Okay, so Anthony Mackie played Sam Wilson, Falcon. He's a regular guy who has like a jetpack. And wings.
Right,
you know? He doesn't have any superpowers.
Right.
It always seemed kind of douchey to me that he could have been hit by a random bullet, and since he doesn't have iron skin or anything, why wouldn't Tony Stark just make him a whole Iron Man outfit?
Yeah, right?
You know, he seems really vulnerable as far as the Avengers go.
Maybe they're just like, yeah, he's fine. He'll be fine.
Hell, why didn't Tony Stark give all of the Avengers an Iron Man suit?
Yeah.
Think of what Black Widow could have done if she'd had an Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
All right, you want me to do my best?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
All right, it opens, and this is obviously a room in the White House.
The White House.
Yeah, that looks very much like it is
Interior.
the White House. Is that
Enter.
Harrison Ford? Harrison Ford turns to look at Anthony Mackie, Sam Wilson, who walks into the room.
Wilson. Thanks for coming in. Well, thank you for the invite, sir.
Wow, he's the same age as Joe Biden. I'm amazed he got Sam Wilson's name right. Bruce Banner. I mean,
I have to admit, I'm still getting used to the new look. They said lose the mustache or lose the...
Oh, I'd heard this in a report like a year ago. He's playing General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, who is the Hulk's main nemesis. Sam Elliott played him in the previous Hulk movie.
Okay.
The one with Ed Norton? It's the same
For
character.
way back then? Okay.
Right.
I gotcha now.
Yeah, and it just showed him on the campaign trail. People have Ross signs, so I guess General Thunderbolt Ross is running for president, or maybe is president.
You and I haven't always agreed in the past, but I want to make another run at making Captain America an official military position.
So Steve Rogers stayed old at the end of
Endgame.
Endgame, right? He was somehow they could bring back Loki from the dead, but they couldn't de-age Steve Rogers. They had a time machine.
And if we disagree on how to manage a situation,
who was that?
Who's that?
Yeah.
Situation, then what happens?
Okay, there's a bad guy with a gun. It looked like it was Giancarlo Esposito, but I don't know if that's the case.
Work with me, Sam. We'll show the world a better way forward.
Okay, so that somebody stands up, not Sam Wilson, but what's this guy up to? Okay, so he's super powered. So he's a dude, and he grabs somebody and throws them all the way across the room. So
Flings them across.
He's some guy. Oh, maybe he's that. So in Falcon and Winter Soldier, they found a guy who had been given the super serum after World War II, and he was an African-American soldier, and I guess he has the same powers as Captain America. Maybe that's him?
All right.
I'm not saying for sure. That's speculation. Oh, and he shoots Thunderbolt Ross. This February. February?
Why did they say this February? It's next year.
Sir, your inner circle's...
Okay, I guess President Harrison Ford survived the assassination attempt.
Oh, good.
So he's conferring with Sam Wilson.
Sir, your inner circle's been compromised. Either you can't see that, or you don't want to.
I kind of want to see this Red Hulk. When I read comic books, there was no Red Hulk. There was just Green Hulk. The Red Hulk must have come in after I quit reading comic books.
What if it's a trap?
Okay, so you see him. It looks like he still has his flying suit, so he's like a flying Captain America, but he also does this crazy quadruple twirling kick. He had to have taken something to give him superpowers, because other than the flying suit, he's just a regular guy.
He's just a dude.
Yeah.
Global power is shifting.
Okay, you saw him with the shield, so I guess he's taking him up on it. He's going to take I mean, I guess that's why the movie's called Captain America, because he's going to be Captain America.
You're just a pawn.
Yeah, that is Giancarlo
Giancarlo.
Esposito. God, that dude's in everything, man.
Great.
It's Captain America Brave New World. In case you didn't know, they just flashed that on the screen several times.
Yeah, they're really doing the flash effects.
They've got like an entire elite military unit here. They have their weapons drawn. Maybe we're going to get a look at Red Hulk before this trailer's over. Fingers crossed.
You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
Damn.
Oh, burn.
President Harrison Ford's kind of a dick. Well, you're not Steve Rogers either. Okay, so in the Falcon Winter Soldier, remember I told you about the other guy who had this super soldier serum, who was an elderly African-American man? He was not played by Giancarlo Esposito. That was a different
Who the hell is he?
Who is he?
You're right. I'm not.
Oh, so he's got the shield and the wings. Again, if you can combine the costumes, Tony Stark at the end of Iron Man 3 just self-destructed like 50 Iron Man suits. Give one to poor Sam Wilson. Damn. Okay, I gotta say those are pretty. That's a pretty good action sequence. It shows him in flight, taking on an airplane in his Captain America / Falcon hybrid suit. Again, another example of a time an Iron Man suit would have come in very handy. There you go.
There it is.
There you go. You heard the... Okay, so who is the Red Hulk in the comic books? There's a big gap of about 30 years in my comic book. Because I read them until college. I think I kind of quit reading comic books in college. And I didn't get back into it at all until Spider-Man came out. And then the entire MCU. You know, they couldn't make these movies and make them good in the 90s. They just didn't have the CGI for it.
Right, okay.
In the 80s and 70s, everything looked super hokey. It wasn't really until CGI that they were able to do a superhero movie
make
justice.
the world come alive.
Yeah, right. So that is a Red Hulk, but I don't know, like, is it Bruce Banner with a rash? Who is the Red Hulk?
Who is Red Hulk?
Oh, man. Captain America, Sam Wilson throws his shield. Red Hulk just catches it and then throws it down into the ground so hard that it embeds itself into the street. Only in theaters, February 2025.
We're in July.
Right. Why don't you say next year?
Yeah, just say next year. Okay.
Okay, now I'm going to read a little bit. The trailer ends with a quick look at the new character, Red Hulk, another gamma-irradiated monster who is the alter ego of Thunderbolt Ross in the Marvel comics.
What?
Wait a minute, so Harrison Ford turns into the Red Hulk? See, Hulk is green when he feels envious, and he's red when he's angry. That's not true. No. None of that's true. It's unclear if the fourth Captain America movie will follow the same storyline as the comics. So they're saying that in the comics, it was General Thunderbolt Ross who turns into the Red Hulk.
Plot twist. I guess people saw that coming, but I did not know.
The Falcon and Winter Soldier, where Sam teams up with Sebastian Stan's Bucky Barnes, a.k.a. the Winter Soldier. That show received praise from fans and critics alike.
Oh, did it?
Got 5 Emmy nominations. It was one of the better things they had on Disney Plus.
Everyone in the app chat's like, Red Hulk is Harrison Ford's character.
Like everybody knew except me?
Everybody knew except us, Buzz.
Let's see. It co-stars Danny Ramirez as the new Falcon. I guess if you get promoted to Captain America, somebody else gets to move up to be Falcon. Again, Tony Stark, why are you hoarding all the Iron Man suits? God, that's the first thing I'd say. I'd be like, listen, I'm a superhero. My power is I'm super fast, but I could use one of those Iron Man suits.
Okay, I'm sorry, everyone in the app chat that we didn't know. Red Hulk is Harrison Ford's character, okay? Sorry.
Carl Lumbly as Isaiah Bradley. Now, that was the elderly man who also had been given the super soldier serum.
Okay, all right.
That's the actor who played him. Shira Haas as, the Israeli superhero Sabra. That is a deep dive. I remember this character.
Oh, yeah?
They did a big comic event. I forget what it was called, but something as big as Infinity War when I was still reading the comics. And like every country had their own superhero.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
These characters were very, very minor characters. They were only really in it. And she was the Israeli superhero.
Oh, wow.
Giancarlo Esposito, and all it says is as a mysterious villain.
Ooh,
so they're not revealing.
They're not going to tell us who he is.
And Harrison Ford taking over the role of Thunderbolt Ross. That's right. Thunderbolt Ross from the late William Hurt. It was Sam Elliott. Then, all of a sudden, it was William Hurt. Now it's Harrison Ford. So maybe he's got, like, shape-shifting powers like Mystique. That's why he looks different in every movie, right? The movie also includes a throwback bringing back Liv Tyler as Betty Ross and Tim Blake Nelson as the leader. Do you remember at the end of the Incredible Hulk, like the green goo falls on his head and his head starts getting big?
Yeah.
He
then
was
when
one
we
of the
talked
Hulk's
to him, he said it also like, I'm going to be in this movie. And you were like, I don't believe it.
Oh, right. We interviewed Tim Blake Nelson.
Nelson.
He said he was going to be back in I think he called it a Hulk movie, though.
Yeah. Oh! Look at that. We're going to have to look back at that interview.
All right. There's my breakdown. Apparently, I didn't know as much about it as a lot of you.
That was cool.
But I went in completely cold, too, right?
Yeah.
You'll vouch for me on that, won't you? All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. We're getting ready for the weekend. We got a dining deal that's going live in a few minutes. So we'll come back, put the finishing touches on today's show right after this.
I'm Daniel Paulus, and whether you're wrapping up your workday...
Saturday, July 3rd. Ages 21 and above. See Speaking Rock's Facebook for more info. Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Interman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
Oh, we're getting ready for the weekend. The weekend is pretty much here for me.
Yeah.
Well, I got an insurance adjuster coming over. I got to get home soon.
Oh, that's right. Your water heater issue.
Oh, man. This is the second time a water heater burst and, damaged my floor.
Oh, that sucks.
They should have, an alarm that goes off or something. Hey, your water heater's about to...
It's about to bust.
It's about to bust. No, you have to wait until you're up to your ankles in water to find out.
When you're like, what's all this water from?
And I hate when I got to call somebody over and they're like, how old is this water heater? And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I have no earthly idea.
I have no idea.
So I'm like, 15 years. And they say, it should have been replaced 5 years ago.
I
don't know. It could be 30. I don't know. I think it's been there since I bought the house.
I was here when I got here. Oh, man.
Let's get a call here. It's on the VIP line, guys.
Okay.
Here's the VIP line call.
Hey, man, this is President Joe Biden, man, the one who wears aviators. I heard one of your callers earlier on the neckline accusing me of being on amphetamines and that my eyes were glossy and red.
Oh.
Young man, let me inform you. I was smoking the ganja. Yeah, that's right. I brought my vape pen with me. We know this country needs a pothead president, so now I'm Pothead Biden and Snoop Dogg is my new vice president.
All right.
But he said we can keep Kamala around because she's a fine piece of... I gotta go. Hunting is calling me.
So Joe Biden had his first press conference in 8 or 9 months yesterday. There's a lot of people believe that they don't let Biden do these press conferences by himself because they're just not sure which Biden they're going to be getting. Well, before the press conference even started, President Biden made a mistake. He was introducing Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and made a pretty big error here when he introduced the president of Ukraine.
Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. He's going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky.
Yeah. I understand getting older and, searching for words, and it gets a little harder as you get. I think I'm experiencing it a little bit at my age, to tell you the truth. But it is concerning. This was the very first question. It was a stumble for Biden. He was asked about his vice president, Kamala Harris, and whether or not he's confident she'd be able to step up and be president if necessary. Here's how he answered the question about his vice president, Kamala Harris.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president until I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there.
Oh, Joe.
But then you've got these other world leaders, because it's the NATO summit just happened, and like Macron from France is saying, look, I spent a lot of time with him. We were talking about some pretty complicated foreign policy issues, and he seemed very sharp. But then when you hold a press conference basically to prove that you're still on the ball and you make those kind of mistakes, I don't know that this helps him any at all. Biden responded to a question about him mixing up names from earlier in the press conference.
Earlier, you misspoke in your opening answer. You referred to Vice President Harris as Vice President Trump. Right now, Donald Trump is using that to mock your age and your memory. How do you combat that criticism from tonight?
Listen to him.
So you say, listen to Trump talk.
Oh, okay.
That's not really a defense. It's like, yeah, listen to him. It's just kind of explaining that we've got a couple of candidates who may not be. Well, I know Trump isn't up to the job because he wants to be a dictator. We saw that. I don't know how so many people are still reporting him. He lost the election, or supporting him. He lost the election, but he wouldn't go. Then he had all of his followers come up and tried to take it over by force. And he still never admitted that he lost the election. Biden said that he would not drop out unless, and here's what he said.
No, unless they came back and said, there's no way you can win. Me. No one's saying that. No poll says that.
What is that? That's a weird thing, too.
You made it weird.
Why do you have to whisper? What is that about?
He's being weird about it.
Well, David Axelrod was commenting on CNN after the press conference, and he said things don't look that great.
He is in a very, very tough spot. I don't know anyone in politics who would tell you, who looks at the numbers that we see, would tell you that he has a very good chance to win this race.
This is like history in the making. I guess every presidential election year is historical, but we're seeing this play out. What's going to happen? Are they going to get enough people who are telling him to drop out that eventually he relents? Is he going to stick it out to the bitter end? Is he going to be the candidate come November? Whatever it is, this is going to go down in the history books.
Yeah.
There's an old blessing that's either a blessing or a curse. It goes something like this. May you live in interesting times.
That is a blessing and a curse.
We live in interesting times.
Right now it feels like a curse.
It feels kind of like a curse.
When will it feel like a blessing?
All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We got that dining deal for La French Touch. It's going live in just a few minutes. Go to KLAQ.com. Look for the dining deals button there or on the KLAQ mobile app. Have a great one, and we will talk to you Monday morning, everybody.
Friday.
Yeehaw! Well, that's it. Show's over.
What? We just started.
Yeah, well, the show's over.
That's the end.
That's not the end.
Why, yes, it is.
Right. That's the end.
And that's the end. That's the end.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show will be back Monday morning.
Hello, everybody.